Friday. Hi, Brian. Lockwood. Hi, everybody. Good to see y'all. How are y'all doing? Jolene, don't be stressed. We're good. We're doing well. Folks, if you are just tuning in, welcome to the live stream. If you're voting for Donald Trump, join the guest request and let's have a conversation about it. But if you are voting for Kamala Harris, please do hit that like button. Help us get to 10,000 likes. We are going to get started in just a moment. How y'all doing? Everybody having a good one? Hopefully everybody's having a good one. Don't be nervous, folks. Don't be nervous. Be confident. Be a little confident, you know? You ain't got nothing to be worried about. It's going to be a good election cycle, I think. Just a couple weeks to go. Folks, if you are voting for Donald Trump, join the guest request and let's have a conversation about it. But if you are voting for Kamala Harris, please do hit that like button. Help us get to 10,000 likes. We are going to get started in just a minute. Yeah, I was on with Polly before. If Polly ends up joining here, I'd love to get Polly up here. I love Polly. Polly's great. Polly's awesome. Smart, very, very smart guy. Folks, if you are just tuning in and you're voting for Donald Trump, join the guest request and let's have a conversation about it. If you're voting for Kamala, please hit that like button, share the live, help us get... Oh my gosh, you're already at 10,000 likes! Guys, there's a such thing as too quick. If you like the live stream that fast, MAGA Republicans are going to start saying we stole the like button. They're going to start saying it was ballot stuffing the like button. You know? You know? All right, let's try to get up our first guest. We're probably going to have to go through a couple crazy people. Yeah, I told you. Notice how I just said we're going to have to go through a couple crazy people. That was one of those crazy people. Let's try to get up our next one. This is going to at the get-go of every live stream. It's always a couple crazy people.
What's up?
Hello.
Hello.
You voting for Donald Trump?
Sure am.
How old are you?
30. How old are you?
82.
Looks like it.
Thank you. I had a little bit of work done.
Okay.
Yeah, same surgeon as Melania. You would never know, but she's actually 96.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty good. So anyway, why are you voting for a criminal?
Why am I voting for a criminal? Why are you voting for Kamala?
Why am I voting for her?
Kamala.
Do you know how to speak English? Do you know how to say the name right?
Kamala.
No, still wrong. You want to try again?
How do you say it?
Kamala.
So I said Kamala.
Nah, I didn't really like the way you said it. I think
I
it
said
sounded kind of... It's not really normal, don't you think? I think you're taking it all personally. It's not that emotional. I mean, look at what your profile photo is. It's a little odd. It's giving cult. Anyway, okay. So why are you voting for the criminal?
Because I think he's a better option between the two.
Well, that doesn't make much sense. That's like me asking you, hey, what's your favorite kind of food? And you saying, I like edible food. I need a list of ingredients, maybe a recipe.
I mean, there has to be a reason why you're voting for Kamala.
Do you not know how to pronounce her name right? Is this like an illiterate issue, vocabulary issue, a processing issue?
What's wrong with how I'm pronouncing her name? If I'm not used to saying her name, if I'm saying it wrong, then I apologize. But if it's Kamala or Kamala or whatever how it's said, I'll people mispronounce my last name all the time.
Yeah,
part of
it. But her name's pretty easy. I mean, it doesn't. We don't need to do a whole Duolingo session on this, right? Like, it's a pretty easy name.
Well, that's
and
not very nice.
Like I just said it, right?
Do you like correcting people that speak other languages and pronounce words all the time?
All the time.
That's pretty
all
rude.
The time.
So you
think about it this way before you keep crying on me now, because I'm not
crying.
A
You're taking a big fit.
Your voice is.
I'm mispronouncing someone's name.
Your voice is squeaking.
You're the one that's
You're getting
upset.
high pitched. All right, calm down. Okay, your voice is squeaking. You're getting high pitched.
What you're doing.
Take a step back. Let's calm down now, okay? Let's deep breath. Lisa, thank you so much. Let's deep breath. Ready?
If you can't notice in the chat, you're the one that's trying to play games with people.
Can you
in this.
calm down?
You try to play
you're
these
being
games.
very rude. Calm down. Again,
calm
I'm
down.
trying
You're
to
saying it wrong.
You said it wrong. If you can't say it, then just say Madam President. It's that easy. So now
she's not the president, so I won't call her Madam President.
Why are you voting for a felon?
I told you she is the better option.
She is the better option. I agree. Kamala is the better option. You realize that you're so nervous. You just said she is the better option.
He is the better option.
You said she. So at least you know the truth deep down.
No, I think that he's the better option.
Hold on. You just said she is the better option.
Well, because I'm trying to listen, trying to find a charger.
You are so nervous that you just admitted she is the better option. You literally just said
I didn't
she's
admit
the better
it.
option.
I misspoke.
You didn't misspeak. You knew what you meant. Deep
No
down,
different than
she
me
is the
spelling
better
someone's
option.
name wrong.
Let's get some W guess in the chat. You are right. She is the better option.
No,
Let's get
she
some
is
W
not.
guess in the chat. You are right. She is the better option.
You still haven't given me a reason why she is a
guess.
You still haven't given me a reason why she's a better option.
Thank you, guess, for admitting that she's the better option.
All you have to say on it is that he's a
Here's what we're gonna do. One more time. I'm asking you, why are you voting for the criminal? And you still haven't
told you
answered.
he's.
Quiet time. Baby, listen closely, Pookie. It's not that hard. Tell me, why are you voting for the criminal? This time, try to make a coherent remark, because you're not really giving me anything to work with. Let's go.
Then why don't you speak on your behalf and why that?
Because I asked you the first question. You don't have a choice but to answer. This will be my last time asking you before you are kicked.
Clapping your hands don't do anything.
All right. Here's what we're going to do. On the count of 3, we're hocus pocusing you out of here. 3, 2, 1. Hocus pocus. Poof. And he's gone. When I ask you a question 3 times and you still can't answer, that's because you don't know how to answer the question, and that's on you. But you said yourself that she is the better option. You said she is the better option. So deep down, you know, and that's good enough. Let's get up our next guest. If you are voting for Donald Trump, join the guest request and let's have a conversation about it. If you're voting for Kamala Harris, please hit that like button, hit the share button. Help us get to 30,000 likes. Oh my gosh, we are well over 30,000 likes. Goodness gracious. Guys, if you are liking the live stream this quickly. Over 30,000 likes. Goodness gracious. You have an echo. Go fix that. Ooh, excuse me. Come back after you fix it. Let's get up our next guest. Folks, we are well over 40,000 likes. Y'all are crazy. Now we're over 50,000 folks. People are going to start saying that you're stuffing ballot boxes, you know, that you're stuffing the like buttons. Let's try to get up our next guest. One more time, folks, if you are voting for Donald Trump, join the guest request and let's have a conversation about it. HM, and thank you so much for the galaxy. That's so nice. Thank you so much. Hi, guest. Are you voting for Donald Trump? Hello. Okay, apparently we're in your pocket right now. It's cozy in here. Do you guys want to just sit in the pocket? We'll all just chill out. We'll all just chill in their pocket. It's great. Anyway, let's move on to our next guest. What is on my face? What was that? Hello, guest. Are you voting for the criminal?
I am.
Congrats. That's disgusting.
Well, I really just came on here.
And I really just asked you a question. So why are you voting for the criminal?
Well, hold on. Let me tell you, because I really want.
Thank you so much for the $10 on Cash App. That is so nice. I appreciate that, Adrian. Thank you.
I want to give you a compliment.
I don't need a compliment from a Trump supporter. Why are you voting for a felon? I take my compliments from those who don't vote for felons. Thank you very much. So why are you voting for a felon?
Can I give you my compliment? I think you're like my favorite.
Yeah, thanks. You could bite me. So again, why are you voting for the felon?
I think you're hilarious. I think you're like my favorite Democrat to look at.
Great. So why are you voting for a felon?
Guy. Well, that's all I wanted to come up here and say. I wanted to give you that compliment.
You said you were voting for Donald Trump.
I am. You know, I wish you ran. Maybe if you ran, I'll probably vote for you, to be honest. But
oh my gosh.
Aside from that, I don't think I could vote for Kamala. But either way, just keep it up. I think you're funny as hell, especially like a couple of lives ago. You were talking about the Scream guy when he came up here talking. I think your analogies. That you're a really smart guy. So just keep doing what you're doing, even though I'm on the other side. So I'm not going to come up here and bash you, so I think that's pretty messed up.
It would probably be a dumb thing to try bashing me. Nobody's ever successfully done it, so
I know, of course. Yeah.
But anyway, bye, Jay.
All right.
Folks, if you are voting for Donald Trump, join the guest request and let's have a conversation about it. Don't be shy. Come on up. We just had a MAGA Republican attesting that I am a great guy. Very funny. Very funny. Very nice. You look at Russia and you go to China. You ask everybody. Johnny's a very nice guy. Very nice. Very nice. Oh, wait. My hands are too big for this. Hold on. I got Italian hands. Hold on. Very nice. Very nice guy. Very nice. So, hi. Are you voting for Donald Trump?
Yes, sir.
That's gross.
Why am I voting? Why?
I didn't ask why. I said that's gross. Did I stutter?
Oh, good. No, that's good.
Yeah.
Donald Trump does not support other countries like Kamala.
Okay. Whoa. Let's take a step back. So that wasn't coherent. Do you want to repeat? Try again.
Biden and Harris are supporting what, Ukraine with $93 billion? I don't know why. I mean, they dropped the nuclear.
Who sends money to Ukraine?
Kamala.
No. Kamala doesn't have that authority, both legislative or executive, to send money to Ukraine. Who sends money? And by the way, mind you, this is through weaponry, not blank checks. But who sends that weaponry? Like, who has the authority to do it? No, it's not Biden. So try again. Who sends it?
No, Biden signed the bill.
Okay, so, all right, we need a civics lesson here. So Congress assigns money. Congress's sole purpose, the same way the Supreme Court's sole purpose is to interpret the Constitution, the Congress's sole purpose is to allocate funding through policy and public service. They're the ones with the wallet. So as you're saying, Kamala's giving money, you recognize it's not Kamala, it's Mike Johnson, your Republican Speaker of the House.
Well, then what about the damn hurricane? The $750 per person. What about that?
Right. So what was the $750 for?
Yeah, what about our country?
No, what was the $750 for?
What about our people? Answer
what
that.
was the $750 for?
To recover, because they lost their homes.
Okay, so no, actually that's not what it was for. The $750 was to provide immediate relief for food and clothes, period. And a lot of people in the chat wrote that. It's good to know that we have some intelligent people here, because this guy, So let's recognize that money was not to rebuild a community or rebuild somebody's home. It was to put clothes on their back and food on the table as soon as possible. The money that comes from the 100% reimbursement on all local damages that Kamala is implementing, that is going to rebuild communities. And we're talking tens of millions of dollars there to rebuild communities, okay?
When's
now, hold on. You're saying you want more money, and I agree. There should be more money. You're right. So, Devin, thank you so much for the galaxy. That's so nice. So, you want more money going to those impacted by the hurricane. You agree?
Yeah, now.
I 100% agree. We are on the same page. And this, honestly, might be the smartest thing you have said all day. So now here's what we're going to do. I'm going to give you the phone number for Mike Johnson, and you're going to call him. And you're going to ask him to allocate more funds to those impacted by the hurricane, because he could call a special session in Congress right now to do so, but he refuses, which is why people from both sides of the aisle, including the governor of North Carolina, have asked him to deliver funding, and he's refused. Do you want to run away? Should I get the cowbell? Are you going to run? You running away because I'm asking you to call Mike Johnson? Scott, my voice is still coming out of your cell phone, and I will be here for the rest of your life. You can either leave the live stream properly if you're going to run away, or shut down your phone entirely. But you can't just say, oh, I'm going to run away. That's not how you properly leave the live stream. So my voice is still coming out of your phone. There you go, Scott. Welcome back. So you're going to call Mike Johnson or run away?
I was trying to go to a screen so I could write his name.
No, you aren't. Get a pen and paper.
I can't. I'm paralyzed. I'm in my bed. I'm a paralyzed veteran. I served our country. I'm not going to run away. I'm trying to go to, here, I'll type it in.
Great. You ready?
Number.
202?
202.
225?
225.
2777.
2777.
Great. Call him.
Now it's in our chat, and I got it. I'll copy.
Great.
Copy.
Call him and ask him. Tell him to allocate more funding for those impacted by the hurricane. He could do that right now, but he refuses.
Oh, no problem. I will. But you know what? Hey, why?
Do it now. Why not? The best time to do something is now.
Hey, call me, and Biden had the power to say, hey, we didn't need the money now.
Yeah,
why?
The best time to accomplish something is in the present. That's something my mom always taught me. Why wait when you could do it today? So give him a call.
Why is Kamala and Biden not asking now? We need the money now.
Right.
Huh?
So Kamala and Joe have asked Mike Johnson for funding.
Okay.
As has the governor of North Carolina.
Oh, but they can send $93 billion to Ukraine. So what about that?
Yeah, that's Mike Johnson again.
Okay,
so
right,
back to the get-go of this conversation. Mike Johnson gave money to Ukraine and then didn't give money to North Carolinians. So again,
my wife, my family,
here's what you should do. Here's what you should do. Give a call to Mike Johnson with the phone number I just gave you. Go ahead.
And what's your name now? Your name is what?
George.
Cool. Okay, I tell George. Say call.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, bye.
Yep.
Have a good one.
Great. He's making that call. Folks, if you like what you're hearing today, hit the follow button in the top left corner and join our little family. You know me, good old George. Hit that follow button in the top left corner and join us. We'd love to have you as part of a little blue wave we got going on. And if you like what you're hearing today and you want to support my mission as I continue meeting voters across the state of Pennsylvania, feel free to do so. My Venmo, PayPal, and Cash App are in my bio. All of those funds are used towards gas and travel as I continue meeting voters across the swing state, which, mind you, nobody warns you on this, but the distance between Erie and Philadelphia, way longer than... Oh, and he left. We're just gonna... Moo. I knew he was going to run away. I knew he wasn't going to make the phone call. Like, I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. Knew it. Story of my life. I travel to keep her warm. It's Let's try to get up our next guest. Slowly but surely, we're gonna get someone up here. Yeah, folks, you can't know this. I'm actually a singer. I'm really talented. Hi, Gerald. Are you voting for Donald Trump? Wow. Just like Gerald Ford, the Geralds are always running away. No matter how many times you try to talk to one, they're always running away. Hello, guest. Are you voting for Donald Trump? Thanks for the Elvis haircut. Hi, are you voting for Donald Trump? Depends. How are you? Are you voting for Trump?
Hell no.
Okay, then I'm doing very good. Thank you for coming up. Doing very good. He goes, how are you doing? I said, depends. Are you voting for Trump? He goes, nope. I go, great. We're doing great then. Yeah, doing very good. Having a great day, actually. I ate some smidgens before. That was pretty good. Hi, Marcus. Are you voting for Donald Trump?
No, Daddy. I'm not voting for him.
Okay. Bye, Pookie. Let's get up our next guest. If you are voting for Donald Trump, join the guest request and let's have a conversation about it. Chat, pick a space. Hi, guest. Are you voting for Donald Trump?
I am.
That's gross.
Yeah, but
as long as you know.
The reason why I got on here is because I want to prove all your misinformation and all that you have talked about, all of it, and I do have proof. And now,
okay, yeah. Chat, which one? I assume they're gonna say middle top, right?
Do what?
Yeah, that's what we thought. Okay. Do what? He goes, do what? We're doing something. You're kind of the side mission. I'm playing tic-tac-toe with the chat. So anyway, why are you voting for a criminal?
Policies, immigration, jobs.
Policies and immigration.
Yep, immigration is a big old thing.
Okay, can you tell me about Donald Trump's border policy?
Build the wall, deport all that has come over illegally.
How did I lose? I already know. Guys, I already know. How did I lose that?
Listen,
can you give me a second? Can you hold on? Everything's about you, guest. Shh, quiet time for a second. Sit tight for a real second. How did I miss that? That is the first time I've ever lost tic-tac-toe, especially to well over 1,000 people. Y'all are too good. That's wild. I hate y'all. I love y'all, but I hate y'all. That's wild. All right, Trouble, let's unmute here. Can you hurry up and unmute? It's the button that looks like a microphone. Spoiler alert. It's right in front of you. Here's an invite. There's an invite for you to unmute. All you got to do is accept the invite to unmute. It's so simple. Anybody could do it. He's definitely still talking to himself. We're all aware of that, right? Like, he is absolutely talking to himself right now. So, Trouble, you're on mute. What you need to do is unmute. See, there's a process called mute. You're on mute. There you go. Now you have an echo. So scroll out of the app and then scroll back in. There's a process called
I think that's you.
Okay. Leave the live stream and come back. Try to request again in just a minute. I don't know why he's like having this much trouble. He's having too much trouble with something so simple. Oh my gosh. slowly but surely. Let's get up our next guest. I can't believe that y'all just beat me at tic-tac-toe. Oh, my goodness. Trying to get up the next guest. This one's not coming up. Hello, guest. Are you voting for Donald Trump? No, fetus deletus. Poof. I mean, that was a fetus, right? We're all well aware. Oh, whoops. This guy. Let's try to get it back up. There's trouble. Yay, Trouble. Welcome back. We're so glad you're here. Certainly not sarcasm at all. So, tell me, what is Donald Trump's border bill? Go ahead.
Okay, so he's planning on deporting most of the illegals that are here.
That's not a policy. What was that? That's called deportation. You know that they're doing that now, right? That's nothing new.
No, they just started doing it 6 months ago.
No, deportation has been underway since dude,
you don't
to be clear, there's never been a day that
in 3.5 years.
Take a step back. Deportation's not new. You're deeply confused. So deportation is not new. That didn't start 6 months ago. All right, you're not listening. You're not listening. Deportation did not start 6 months ago. Okay, this guy's delirious.
And I'm right.
You're delirious. You think? Okay, hold on. Deportation did not start 6 months ago. You think they just started deporting people 6 months ago? Then why wasn't Donald Trump deporting people 6 years ago? Okay, unmute. Why wasn't Donald Trump deporting people 6 years ago? You just said that you only started doing it 6 months ago. So during Donald Trump's presidency, they weren't deporting people? That seems like a bad... Alright, I'm done playing with you. You have an echo again. This guy is both technologically and literally illiterate, so I'm just done playing with him. He literally is like, deportation started 6 months ago. Buddy, you understand Donald Trump was president 6 years ago, and he was also deporting people. This isn't new. And then the echo, it's like, if you're going to be technologically illiterate, please don't join TikTok. Just a thought. Let's try to get up our next guest. If you are voting for Donald Trump, join the guest request and let's have a conversation about it. Don't be shy. Hi, guest. Are you voting for Donald Trump?
Yeah, you actually just talked to my I'm sorry, you talked to my brother Jamie earlier on Polly's page, and I just wanted to say thank you.
You're not voting for Trump. Okay.
Yes, sorry about that.
Oh, Jamie! Yeah. Yes. Oh, you're the sister.
I am the sister.
You're phenomenal. Thank you for feeding him to the wolves like that. That's great.
Yep, I had to. We were running out of time.
No, hey, thank you for doing it. I appreciate you, and thank you for stepping up and being like a good sister like that. Can we get some W's in the chat for our guest here? Thank you again. You have a good one.
Problem. Thank you too, Johnny.
So for those of you who don't know, that was right there. That was an incredible sister who sent her brother to talk to Polly and I, and we taught him basically anything he wanted to know about Donald Trump and the electorate because he was leaning towards Donald Trump. And she's just a really good sister. That's a good sister looking out for her brother. That was phenomenal. Michael, hi. Are you voting for Donald Trump?
Yes, I am.
That's gross. Congrats.
Why is that gross?
Well, it's definitely not attractive to be voting for somebody who committed sexual abuse, right? So why are you voting for the rapist, felon, civil fraudster?
Because he's a better option than Kamala Harris. That hasn't done anything for the past 3 years and a half.
Do you want to try again pronouncing her name?
Okay, I'll just call her Harris. Sure.
Mm-hmm. You could call her Vice President Harris.
Vice President Harris, sure.
Okay.
The convicted felon, rapist, whatever he is, will run this country much better, which is proven that he did in those 4 years from 2016 to 2020.
Well, you're just delusional now. So let's better understand this. I remember Donald Trump's first term as president. Thank you very much. I remember Donald Trump's first term as president, and I also recognize that in no scenario would putting a felon, civil fraudster, sexual abuser into the highest office in the land better represent our country. Americans, we're kind of crazy, I'll be real. But we are not that crazy. Let's be so legit right now. We do some wild stuff. We don't do that. Okay. So now what I want to better understand here is why you are advocating for a criminal to be our president instead of a prosecutor who prosecutes criminals like Donald Trump.
like I said, even if he's a convicted felon, a rapist, whatever it is, it proven, right? Because you can agree the economy is shit right now, and that is
No,
under
it's
the
not.
administration. Yes, it is.
You just said we could agree on that. What are you talking about? What's the inflation
So you saying
rate
that
today?
inflation? You saying that the economy is good right
Yeah.
now?
So what's the inflation rate today?
Can you go buy a house right
Thank
now?
you. What is the inflation rate today?
It has skyrocketed. I don't know the exact numbers, but
You don't know the numbers? So let me get
Hold
this
on.
right. You're saying the economy is garbage, but you don't know a single numerical digit for a borderline basic stat. That's absurd.
I don't have to have-
You couldn't
but I
name.
mean-
Say it again. What
Okay, so I don't have to have the
one more
stats.
time.
Okay, hold
you
on,
do
hold on.
need to have the stat if you're going to
No,
talk
you don't,
about
because
how
even
the
now,
economy
like,
is garbage.
groceries,
Let's try
like,
again.
okay, so
What is the
groceries-
inflation rate right now?
Hold on.
What is the inflation rate? Next word to come out of your mouth ought to be a number. What is the inflation
So if I
rate
don't have
right
the
now?
number, it doesn't matter.
You don't have the number, then your opinion on the economy is redundant because that is the easiest.
Oh, so I don't
stat
buy
that
groceries. I
everybody
don't buy a
knows.
house. I cannot buy a house right now.
You don't know what the
groceries-
inflation rate is. Let's try this again. What is the
Jesus
inflation
Christ.
rate?
This is how you
What
know
is the
that these
digit?
fucking voters are.
What is the
brain dead.
digit?
This is
What
to
is the
prove.
digit?
Because I don't have
What
the
is
numbers.
the digit?
Okay,
You want to cry
groceries
more?
are all-time high.
You want to
Y'all are
cry
brain
more?
dead if you really
What's
think
the
that.
digit?
Okay,
What
how
is
many
the digit?
people? But
What
look
is
at-
the digit?
It does
What
not
is the
matter.
digit?
I buy the
What
groceries.
is the digit?
I cannot buy a house.
What is the digit?
I do not have it.
What is the digit?
I do not have it.
Great. So you want to talk about how you perceive the economy, yet you don't know the simple, basic, borderline stat that describes inflation. Are you out of your mind? Are you?
what-
That is
so,
the
okay,
most
so you're
absurd.
telling me-
No. That is the most absurd thing I've ever heard. Here's what you're gonna do. Here's what we're gonna do.
Even
No,
so, go to the
Pookie,
grocery store
no,
right now,
Pookie,
buy a
no,
fucking gallon of
Pookie,
milk.
Pookie,
It
yeah,
costs
no,
you 17,
Pookie,
and go buy
Pookie,
it now. And how much
Pookie.
is gonna?
Quiet. That was a public service to everybody. Quiet time for you. You're gonna go get a stat. Oh, you ran away. Oh, moo. Let's get some cow emojis in the chat, please. Moo. We got a runner. Let's herd the cattle. Hey, that was wild. That was wild. He literally didn't know a simple basic stat. He's like, I want to talk to you about the economy, but I don't know what the inflation rate is. Are you out of your mind?
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing so good. Are you voting for Donald Trump?
I sure am.
And just like that, you ruined my day. Thanks a lot.
Then you ruined my day.
Pretty sure your day was already ruined if you were voting
my
for
day, I
Donald
had a great day. I
Trump.
had a
So
great
anyway, why are
day.
you
Every
voting
day's a
for a
great day.
criminal?
Why
Yeah, it's always a great day when you're stripping away the rights of women.
Why are you voting for a woman who wrecked a family and slept with a married man and broke the? Why are you voting for her? If somebody,
I'm not voting for Melania Trump. Melania Trump's not running for president. You just asked why I'm voting for a woman who slept with a married man and ruined a family. Go talk to Melania and go talk to Melania Trump and Marla Maples if you want to. But I ain't voting for Melania Trump. I'm voting for Kamala Harris. So tell me again, why are you voting for a criminal? Go ahead.
I like him.
Oh, you just like a criminal? You see the criminal and you're like,
him.
oh, he's a bad boy. Oh, he's a bad boy. Love that. Oh my gosh. So why are you voting for the civil fraudster criminal? Do you want to break this down more
I'm going to tell you
strategically,
why.
maybe?
Okay, last election I voted for Biden.
No, you
That's
didn't.
number one. Oh, yes, I did.
No, you didn't. If I had a nickel for every time you MAGA Republicans told me you voted for Biden in the last election, I'd be a fucking
I've always
millionaire.
voted Democrat.
Okay, sure. Yeah, all have. Every single one of you have. It's crazy. Crazy. I mean, all of you say the same exact thing. You're all lifetime Democrats who voted for Biden. Literally. So then how is that possible? Like, how is that possible that all of you are former Democrats? Crazy.
I don't
Crazy.
let me talk. I don't like anything that's happened under the Biden administration.
Like what?
I do not like that they have the Palestinians putting their flags over the United States flags. Is that okay?
Donald Trump stripped down the United States flag at our Capitol and threw up Trump flags via his rioters. Ma'am, Donald Trump's rioters. Yeah, you don't want to talk about Donald Trump, you just said? Yeah, guess what? When you're voting for Donald Trump and you just talked about Palestinian flags replacing U.S. flags, look no further than your candidate, Donald Trump, who on January 6th, through his rioters, stripped down the U.S. flag from our national capital and put Trump flags as its replacement. What was that kind of hypocrisy? What was that hypocrisy? Do you first admit what you just said was a blatant, mocking, talking hypocrisy?
What about the Iranian deal? Trump stopped.
Try again. Do you recognize what you just said was a blatant hypocrisy?
What'd I say?
You said you're upset that Palestinians are replacing the U.S. flag with their flag. You're voting for the guy who replaced our flag with a Trump flag at the nation's capital on January 6, 2021. So you understand that you are quite literally a walking hypocrisy.
No, I'm not. I also don't like, listen to me.
Try to explain to me what I just said. Maybe you'll better understand.
I'm going to tell you
if it comes out of your mouth, maybe you'll better understand it. Do you understand what I just said? No. Do you understand what I just said?
Do you want to understand what I'm saying?
Do you understand what I just said?
That you think Trump put up his own flag?
It's not I think. He did.
I don't believe you.
Look it up.
He put a flag that's...
Look it up. No, go look it up, Pookie. Go look it up. Go on. Oops, getting an advertisement. Oh my gosh, I got an advertisement. Oh, I'll wait for that. Shari, come back. Don't run away. Great. Okay, did you look it up?
I looked it up, but I didn't see it.
Oh, no, that's not true.
Show it to me. Show it to me on your phone.
Sure.
Go ahead. Show it to me now. Where it said he put up his own flag on the January 6th. Go ahead.
So do you just pretend like the insurrection didn't happen? Like in your mind, do you live in a fairy tale where it just didn't happen?
No, I know it happened.
Okay, and yet you're still going to vote for that. That's insane.
I also know that all these Palestinian rallies are not they're not peaceful. They call them peaceful rallies. They're not one of them is peaceful. Also, okay, I'm Jewish. I do not like that they are going on all the college campuses, harassing all the Jewish kids who go to college. And I don't like all the anti-Semitism. And they don't do one thing about it.
Can you do me a favor?
They don't back Israel.
Oh, wait, can you do me a favor? Sonia, thank you so much for the $5. Can you do me a favor?
Yeah.
Okay, just need you to shut up for a second, okay? Hold on, ready? So first, I want to show you a good little zoom in on this photo. Ooh, let me see if I can get it right. Now, these are also completely accessible to you. The fact you're pretending like you can't find them is on you, not me.
I didn't see it.
This is them ripping down the flags from the Capitol.
Okay.
And these are the flags they're about to replace them with. Are you ready?
What do they say? Yeah.
Boop. Now, hold on.
What's it say there? I couldn't see what it said.
Hold on. Pardon me. Here's them taking the flags from the Capitol and throwing them upside down.
Okay.
To suggest that we're overthrowing the government on January 6th. Again, these are all things you could have looked up, but you didn't. So you're upset with flags you just said. You just said, pardon me, you just said that the U.S. flag was getting overthrown by a Palestinian flag. I disagree that they should. Okay, that's great. That's okay. I hear you. And I agree that shouldn't be happening. I also agree that they shouldn't have done it on January 6th. Donald Trump did exactly what you're criticizing. Donald Trump did exactly what you're criticizing other people for doing. So you are a hypocrite. Do you admit? Do you admit? Do you? No, quiet Pookie. Quiet Pookie. Quiet Pookie. Do you admit that your candidate not only threw out the U.S. flag and replaced it with his own, but also violated Chapter 4, Title 1 of Flag Code by signing it? Do you understand that Donald Trump treats the U.S. flag like a used napkin at McDonald's?
Was he actually there?
You just muted yourself. My hands are here. Unmute. I did not mute you. Great.
I know.
So,
was he
will
there?
you
Did
hold
he
Donald Trump
himself? Was he actually there?
He bust rioters there, and they did it for him. Are you out of your mind?
Right. He told them, "Oh yeah, put my flag up."
Oh my goodness
gracious!
How
do you know that? What proof? What proof do you have?
Do you know what's wild to me? Is that you're making the case not to vote for Kamala because you said Palestinian Americans are replacing the U.S. flag with the Palestinian flag. Kamala's not doing that. Hold on, I'm not done. Pardon me. But you suggested that's a reason not to vote for Kamala. Did Kamala do that? No. But now you're saying Donald Trump, you are talking too much and not listening enough. So I'm going to explain this one more time. I've chosen kindness. Don't mistake my kindness for ignorance. So let me explain this one more time. Donald Trump replaced the U.S. flag with his own campaign flag at our Capitol via his rioters on January 6, 2021. You, by your own logic, said that you disagree with Palestinian Americans replacing our flag with the Palestinian flag. Now I'm telling you, you're blaming Kamala for that when that has nothing to do with her. whatsoever, but you won't hold Donald Trump accountable for doing exactly that, just with his own campaign flag instead of the Palestinian flag. And the fact he violates flag code time and again by signing the US flag, by putting the flag on a Bible. Things like this, okay? So what I need you to do here is either one, notice your hypocrisy, or two, at least concede that you're a hypocrite and that you refuse to hold Donald Trump accountable for violating flag code and overthrowing the flag on January 6th. Up to you. You could be a hypocrite or admit you're wrong, but you got to do one before we continue.
Okay, I admit I'm wrong. Okay, what?
Perfect.
Okay, so what has Kamala or Biden done to stop anti-Semitism?
Ma'am, I'm a Jewish American.
Oh, you are. I love you.
Yeah.
You are. Shalom. Do you
Okay.
like that they're going on all the college campuses?
You know what I got a problem with? And
Johnny Pomelade is not Pama. What's your last name?
What was that?
Is that your
Okay.
name?
That
What's
was
your
not
last
my
name?
name. I don't think that was
That's what it
literate.
says on the top of
So
your page.
here's what I want to better
What's your
understand
name?
here. From one Jewish American to another.
Are you Jewish, really?
Yes. So from one Jewish American to another, let me tell you something.
Say the bracha.
Ma'am.
Say the bracha.
We can continue. Okay. My point being, as a Jewish American to another Jewish American, I want to make something very clear here. You're voting for the wrong candidate. Okay. Kamala Harris, when you look at for example, conflict between Israel and Gaza, has a very straightforward stance. Ceasefire, two-state solution, bring home the hostages. Donald Trump has no such stance. Donald Trump has made very clear he will dehome the Palestinian people. That's going to lead to a regional war. You don't want more loss of life. You want an end to the conflict that has been going on for decades. Donald Trump's not the guy because he doesn't understand foreign policy. The same way that MAGA Republicans seem to trust him to negotiate a deal to end the conflict between Vladimir Putin and Vladimir Zelensky, Donald Trump couldn't negotiate a deal to bring home a Marine who was detained by Vladimir Putin. How in heck would he negotiate a deal to end that conflict? How would he negotiate a deal to end the conflict between Israel and Gaza? He's not the one. Now, I also want to further emphasize this. I'm not done. I also want to further emphasize this on 2 points. I explained her stance. Now, again, Donald Trump is the same guy who said if you are a Jewish American, you need to have your mental wellness and head checked if you vote for a Democrat. That's on video. This was recent. That's not normal. That's not normal rhetoric. No, that leads to anti-Semitism.
You want to know? You know how
I
many
ain't done. Third, you have Donald Trump who said, and you can go look this up, that he wanted generals similar to that of Mustache Man from World War II. Go look that one up. If you don't know that, go look that up. That's a breaking story. 4, Donald Trump, the same guy who is, and I remember a diary growing up, a diary about a girl named Anne. This is a book that I was raised on, okay? Donald Trump is blatantly speaking on policies that align with what happened to her. You look at mass deportation. Donald Trump is saying, let's use the military, weaponized against its own people, prosecute those who harbor illegal immigrants, whether they know or not know, and then detain those illegal immigrants to a place we don't know where. Okay, that's not normal. This isn't normal rhetoric. So when you come up here,
CNN.
When you come up here,
I've never heard this stuff,
ma'am. But then take it from me. If you're not going to recognize the blatant anti-Semitic remarks and ignorant remarks he's making, I can't help you. But all I can do is tell you exactly what I know and for you to do more research on it.
Can I ask you something else? What do you think about the Harris-Biden administration threatening Israel to stop sending them arms? This is the second time they've done this. Stop sending them weapons. If they don't stop the war in Gaza, they're going to stop sending. This is the second time they threatened.
Yeah, ma'am, the conflict needs to stop. Period. Period.
You know what? And it's not even Gaza. It's Hamas. What's Hamas going to do?
To be clear, any deal that takes place needs to consist of the removal of Hamas and also the removal of Netanyahu.
Right. Okay. But they first have to get rid of Hamas.
And Netanyahu. Let's be very clear. Hamas and Netanyahu are not putting the people first. They've made this completely about some sort of awful politics that takes the lives of those who are innocent, both the Palestinian and Israeli people.
Can I tell you something?
The
If
Israeli
me and you-
people, hold on,
if me and
hold
you
on.
went to
No,
Palestine, they'd shoot
hold
us
on.
for being Jewish.
No, take a step back. First off, the Palestinian people have made clear they don't want Hamas. The Israeli people have made very clear they don't want Netanyahu. So let's not play games anymore. Okay? So again, you're going to vote for somebody who is outright anti-Semitic like Donald Trump. You're going to vote for somebody like he is. I'm not playing with you.
Wait,
2, you're going to make something. Take a step back. That's so dandy. Wow. Congrats.
Yeah, who opened the embassy in Jerusalem?
Thank you. Take a step back. So again, Donald Trump saying
Jerusalem.
Donald Trump saying if you're a Jewish American who votes for a Democrat, you need your head checked. That incites violence on us. Okay?
Okay,
2,
can I stop you
I'm not
one
done.
second?
2,
Okay.
no, you may not. 2, let's make something once more again clear. When Donald Trump is repeating the same policy rhetoric that we saw in World War II via his mass deportation policies, you need to step down and recognize something's completely wrong. Okay? 3, when the people who are on the same side as you voting for Donald Trump are carrying around that little symbol from World War II that you and I know a lot about, maybe you're on the wrong side.
I think you're on the wrong side.
My side's not carrying that symbol. Your side is.
Your side.
No.
Your side's not.
No.
Your side's not.
My side is not carrying that symbol.
so what?
That's you.
Do you know who Rashid
That's
Tlaib
you.
is? Do you know who Rashid Tlaib is?
I don't care. Is she running for
He lives in
president?
Dearborn, Michigan.
No?
You
Great.
should see, wait. You should see. I
Pay
live in
very close
Michigan.
attention one more time. There's no breaking through to you. What you're doing is blatant hypocrisy. The same way you said you care about the U.S. flag getting replaced by Palestinian flags, which, mind you, has nothing to do with Kamala and shouldn't be happening, you won't hold Donald Trump accountable for replacing the U.S. flag with his own Trump campaign flag. Okay? You are blatantly being a hypocrite through and through. And you are holding Kamala to a far higher standard than Donald Trump, because Donald Trump can peddle blatant anti-Semitic rhetoric, and you're like, thank you, Trump daddy. That's not going to work.
From the river to the sea means?
Do better.
Do you know what from the river to the sea
This is
means?
nonsense. What am I
does it
supposed to
mean?
do with you?
What does the river to the sea?
Ma'am, it does not matter to me. I told you 3 times now.
So
the
listen to me.
conflict needs
If
to
Israel
end.
is
You
gone-
are not helping.
I'm trying to explain something to you.
Listen closely. You're making
don't
us
listen
look
to me.
really dumb. Listen closely.
Not dumb, it's very
No, you
smart.
are making us look really dumb. So here's what I'm going to tell you now one more time. If you actually care about ending the conflict, if you care about supporting our people, here's what you're going to do. You're going to shh and go do more research. Because you're making us look really dumb, Sherry.
How am I making us look dumb?
The fact you don't know is it just speaks volumes.
No, well, let me hear.
I've explained 3 times as you yelled over me. This is giving roaches for raid.
Because
You
of
understand?
the flag. Let me hear.
Ma'am, you're on the same side that's carrying that symbol from World War II.
No, I'm not.
You're not. You are, and you're not on the right. You understand? You're in the wrong.
You're
okay?
on the side where they want to kill all the Jews.
Ma'am, that's not true.
From the river to the sea.
Oh my goodness gracious. This is appalling.
Listen, come to Dearborn.
This is appalling.
Come to Dearborn,
This is
Michigan.
appalling.
Our congresswoman
Ma'am,
in Dearborn, Michigan.
this is appalling. So let me make something clear.
Can I tell you something? I'm gonna
No, you may not. Let me make something very crystal shiny clear for you, okay? 3, 2, 1, and eyes on me for this. You, instead of voting for Kamala, who said 2-state solution, ceasefire, bring the hostages home, let's end the loss of life, are voting for Donald Trump, who has no such plan and is looking to incite a regional war for his own political gain. That is on you and your lack of foreign
Can I ask
policy
you something?
experience.
How many
I am
years?
not done. 2, you are on the side that is carrying that symbol from World War II, and you're going to play with me how you're on the right side of history? Our ancestors would be ashamed of you. 3, when you come up here and you say to me, oh, I'm going to vote for the guy who said Jewish Americans need their heads checked, you are outright out of your mind. That is unacceptable. So yes, you are making us look immensely foolish. So here's your homework.
I'm going to give you your homework.
Here's your homework.
Mm-hmm.
Do some research into the background of Donald Trump, and it's a simple Google search that I was able to conduct back in middle school. You can do it now. Okay? Let's not say another word. Do your homework. Come back in a week and let's conversate. This is beyond help at this point. You are making us look absolutely foolish.
No,
do
you're,
better.
You're
no.
the one who's absolutely
no.
foolish.
Let's get up our next guest, folks. If you are voting for Donald Trump, join the guest request and let's have a conversation about it. If you're voting for Kamala Harris, please do hit that like button, hit the share button. Help us get to 300,000 likes. Goodness gracious. That was shameful. Hi, Billy. Are you voting for Donald Trump? Okay, bye, Billy. I'll miss ya. It's sad when somebody votes against their own interests, and I mean that sincerely. I mean, it's so blatantly spread out who Donald Trump is and isn't for, and Donald Trump's not for her. So it's genuinely upsetting when you see somebody who is so deep in the hole, I guess, is the right way to explain it, where they don't recognize they're voting against their own interests. It's sad. Hi, guest. Are you voting for Donald Trump?
Yeah, I came up more so as for you to. I just got here. I don't know what you guys have been talking about or anything that's been going on.
We were talking about Rice Krispie treats. I had a good recipe for that. We played some tic-tac-toe. I lost. We talked about Brangelina. There's some rumors that it could work out, but apparently it's not. Yeah.
Interesting. Well,
yeah.
I am more so trying to get persuaded to vote for Ms. Harris. Right now, I am leaning towards Trump. I'm a conservative libertarian. I'd like to vote for Chase Oliver. I'd like to vote for Chase Oliver.
Yeah.
Do you know who
Can I break something
Chase
down
Oliver
for you?
is?
I don't need you to come up here and do the whole thing where you libertarians have this organized slate of pretending you're bipartisan and then trying to use it as a platform to tell me about Chase fucking Oliver. I don't care. So you're not. Pay close attention. Now let's not play. 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 Let's not play.
One of the reasons I am scared of a few of her plans.
You shouldn't be. Her plans are straightforward and they make sense. They're moderate and they quite literally benefit everybody. Okay? For example, Kamala has a plan that benefits first-time parents with the $6,000 permanent child tax credit, and that money comes from the original 14% corporate tax deduction, so your taxes don't go up. Instead, your kids will get more money back into their pocket. Donald Trump has no such plan. But you tell me what policy you're confused about.
The one plan in particular that scares me a lot is the unrealized gains tax.
Okay, first off, unrealized gains is not going to affect you if you don't have $100 million or more. If you're making over $100 million, that will affect you. Because you, I, and nobody in this channel aren't making $100 million. It's redundant. It does not drive up housing costs. It does not drive up costs across the board. It does nothing but take money from the wealthy so that it can be recirculated into the population and benefit those who need it. That is a normal policy point. That's not unheard of. Neither is that unusual.
Now, isn't that how all taxes came into existence? Say, for instance, even the
so you're
income tax.
taxing
even
rich
the income
people.
Tax was just for the rich people.
Right, so
when
you're taxing, follow with me on this, you're taxing rich people.
Correct. Now I'm getting taxed.
You don't have $100 million.
Not right now, but eventually I got a feeling it's going to be just like any other tax.
You'll never have $100 million. Sorry to be the buzzkill.
It's not going to be $100 million later on.
It will always be $100 million or more.
Later on, it's going to be $1 million, and then it's going to go to $100,000.
You're blatantly lying, exactly doing what I told you you would. You take a policy. I'm not done. You take a policy and you lie about it to misinform people so that you can then talk about your loser candidate, Chase Oliver. Let's make something very clear, okay? Kamala or Donald Trump is going to be your president. Kamala is saying she's going to tax the rich, and that's great. Donald Trump is saying we're going to cut taxes for the rich, and just originally, like how he gave the 14% corporate tax deduction and that led to the $8 trillion deficit, you ought to make the right choice this time instead of trying to go back down memory lane with Donald Trump. Because, fun fact, didn't work out too good for us the first time. So you can vote for Kamala and get a tax cut, and then watch as corporate taxes get stripped out and put back into the pockets of the middle class, or you can vote for Donald Trump and lose money. It's up to you.
I don't think you quite understood me.
I really do. I really do. You're saying that she's inevitably going to lower that threshold to $1 million. That's BS.
No, not her, but in the future, I can definitely see.
No,
I can definitely see becoming
that's
just
not
like
how
any other
policy
tax.
works. It's not how policy works.
Okay. Well, that didn't really persuade me to vote for
Not trying to persuade you. I know you're unpersuadable. Do you think I'm this dense?
No,
apparently
you
you do.
A lot of.
When you come up here and you say you're a libertarian,
precious.
pay very close attention. When you come up here and you say that you are a libertarian, and you mention Chase Oliver's name, and that you want to talk about why Kamala's policies scare you, but you're bipartisan.
Before I could even
Stop
finish
it.
my first
You're not the
sentence.
first to do this nonsense. Let me make something clear. Kamala's policy is very straightforward, and you recognize that because you didn't question how it would be implemented. You didn't question what the stats or the numerical code digits behind it were. Instead, you said, well, at some point, I think that threshold's going to lower to 1 million, even though nobody said that in any right mind anywhere.
No, eventually, I think it's
you. But that is
eventually.
okay. And eventually, guess what? Guess what? Eventually, the Big Bang is going to happen again, and the Earth is going to implode. Your point?
Okay.
Has nothing to do with Kamala Harris. Has nothing to do with the policy.
Can I restate my entry?
If you'd like to try.
I am a conservative libertarian who would like to vote for Chase Oliver, but right now I am currently leaning towards Trump. And I
so
am
I
asking
supposed
you
to play with you?
persuade me towards
To be clear, I'm not going to persuade you. That's not my point of doing these conversations. What I'm doing is pointing out your blatant walking, talking hypocrisy. The fact of the matter is you're willing to vote for Donald Trump, who cut taxes for corporations and then took money from the middle class and also increased our deficit by $8 trillion. Let's also recognize that instead of voting for Kamala, who is saying, hey, let's take away that corporate tax deduction, ensure corporations and wealthy people are paying their fair share, and then give middle class tax cuts. You're trying to instill doubt in that process. You're suggesting Kamala won't do that without any reason to do so. So do you really think that you are going to lean towards Kamala or that I'm going to persuade you? Let's stop playing. So why are you voting for a criminal?
For one, to me, I think that it was all
political persecution.
Yeah, pretty much.
There you go. So everybody in the chat,
was.
you see how this wasn't going to get persuaded? Political persecution. It was all political persecution. That makes zero sense. But you really thought that you were going to fool me into thinking you could be persuaded. You're just an outsider. You're not an outsider. This involves you.
I'm literally on the sidelines.
Are you a voter?
Both sides.
You're a voter?
Yeah.
This involves you. Don't act like it doesn't. Okay? Because one of these two are going to be your president. So you just said it was political persecution. What makes you think it's political persecution? Break that down.
All right. First, they started.
Are you driving right now?
No, but I am at work.
It's a little noisy. You want to tone that down?
Yeah, I make about $200K a year.
Congratulations, I ask. So do you want to tone down the volume?
And I plan on making more in the future. And I got a feeling
let's
in
explain
the future,
this right.
It's
quiet time for you, baby. So listen very close, everybody. This guest came up here and he said he's a libertarian. Then he said, Johnny, I want you to persuade me to vote for Kamala because I want to vote for her. I just can't get myself to do it right now. And I said, that's not true. No libertarian is saying that. And he said, well, I'm leaning towards Trump. And I said, right. But
yeah, because
quiet time. So he said, well, you know what? I am leaning towards Trump. And I said, okay, now you're starting to tell the truth. And he said, tell me about Kamala's, capitalized gains tax policy. Tell me about that. And I did. And he said, well, I think it's going to lower the threshold. Right now, it's $100 million. If you make over $100 million, you get taxed. If you make $99.9 million, no tax. And so he said, well, I think it's going to lower to $1 million, even though there is no such proof that would ever happen. Neither has anybody ever said that, not even Donald Trump, just this random guy. So that was conspiracy theories that he was spewing. Then I said, quiet time, you're in timeout. And then I said, okay, why are you voting for a criminal? And he said, I think it's political persecution. Folks, this is not somebody who can be persuaded. This right here is a Trump supporter. Quiet time. This is quiet time. This is a Trump supporter. Quiet time. You didn't vote for Obama. Notice everybody how every time a Trumper comes up here, they say they're a lifelong Democrat who voted for Democrats. And
I swear to God, I fucking did.
Quiet time. So let's recognize that he quite literally is a MAGA Republican pretending to be a libertarian who apparently voted for Democrats, who is leaning towards Kamala. Get it together. If you're going to have an alias, do better than this. Okay? At least when Trumpers come up, they just say that they were Democrats and they lie. You're over here saying I'm a libertarian who likes Chase Oliver but wants to vote for Trump but would like to lean towards Kamala. And I voted for Democrats. Get it together. Okay?
I would like to see my...
Bye, Pookie. Let's get up our next guest. That was insane. Folks, if you're going to try to trick me, do better than that. That was insane.
Wait.
Matthew, you have an echo. Fetus deletus. Do better than that, folks. Folks, if you like what you're hearing today and you want to support me, my Venmo, PayPal, and Cash App are in my bio. Those funds are used as I travel the state and continue to meet voters. Robin, hi, are you voting for the criminal? Okay, did I scare you, Robin? I didn't even say hi yet. Okay, Robin, I'll talk to you anyway. Bye. Rude. Anyway, I guess I'll get over it. Hi, are you voting for Donald Trump?
Yes, I am.
That's disgusting.
Oh, yes, I know.
Well, as long as you're aware.
What's this so disgusting? I ain't gonna vote for somebody who wants to kill our kids at birth, even before birth.
Pardon me? Are you talking about Melania Trump? Melania Trump's not in the race, and whatever abortion she had have nothing to do with you. Leave that pro-choice, beautiful woman alone.
Your candidate that wants to do it.
Excuse me, my candidate's not Melania Trump. I just said that. Leave that beautiful pro-choice woman alone. She has done nothing to hurt you. Okay, that woman is just decorated for Christmas and summer.
She don't even know what she's talking about.
Melania knows what she's talking about.
What she's talking about?
Why do you keep making fun of Melania? She knows what she's talking about.
Are you a girl or a guy? You confused?
It depends on the day.
Yeah.
So why are you mocking Melania Trump so much? Like, what did she do?
You're saying that. You don't know what else to say.
You just said that Melania Trump has no idea what you're talking about. You said that Melania Trump is like having abortions and stuff. I don't know. What is it?
You have nothing else to say, but you just trying to put people down.
You just mocked Melania Trump.
No, I mocked your candidate.
You just
her name's
verbally you just verbally mocked Melania Trump. That's not
her
nice.
name's Scamala.
Anyway, so what's your issue with Melania Trump? I feel like she's okay.
Scamala. Is her name Scamala or Scamala?
Melania? You're not pronouncing Melania right.
No, you're not pronouncing anything right.
Okay, I think you're confused.
No, I think you are confused. You don't know.
Oh my gosh!
I don't know.
Actually, I'm Johnny.
You're a guy.
So why are you so confused? Are you like mad?
A guy or a girl?
Did I already trigger you?
Tell me what are you? Have you decided what you are?
It depends. Somebody drop a 20 in my Cash App, I'll be a guy. Somebody drop a 50 in my Cash App, and I'll be a woman. I don't really care. So listen very closely. Here's what I want to know. Why are you voting for a criminal?
Yeah, Obama, Clinton.
Oh, he has no idea where he is. It's a little early to be sundowning. How are you already sundowning?
His son. They're all criminals.
Okay, you even pronounce criminal right. Are you good? Are you sundowning? It's a little early, don't you think?
Oh, yeah. I live in Texas, so you should know what time it is out here.
Oh, that explains a lot. Maybe next time come up with a different state.
Oh,
so why are you voting for a criminal?
I'm not. I'm voting for a man that believes in equal rights amendment.
Joe Biden? Nice, but Joe Biden's not running, so it's Kamala now.
Joe Biden. You always want to turn everything around.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you do.
So why are you voting for the felon?
Why are you voting for what?
Did I stutter?
Yes, you did. I didn't understand what you said.
Okay, so let's be clear. A stutter means that I'm stuttering. You have a processing issue, so I'll repeat it for you if you ask politely.
Okay, yes, please do that.
You're welcome.
Confused
Why are you voting for a felon?
Oh, yep. No, I'm not voting for Kamala.
Okay, you don't even pronounce the name right, but you're up here thinking you're doing something. The only thing you're cooking is horseradish and spinach. Do something better than this. One more time. Can you answer the question? It's pretty simple. Why are you voting for the felon?
I'm not. I keep telling you that.
Okay, so you're voting for Kamala. That's awesome. Let's get some W's in the chat for Alex. Let's get some W Alex in the chat and some W Kamalas. Thank you, Alex, for voting for Kamala. That's awesome.
There ain't nobody voting for that.
You just said you're not voting for the. You just said you're not voting for the felon, so obviously you're voting for Kamala. That's awesome. Let's get some. Oh, there we go. Finally got it out of you. So you're a felon, and that's why you're voting for the felon, because you're two peas in a pod. You can probably share. Congrats. You can probably share the same. Hold on. You can probably share the same prison cell as him. Congratulations. What is it? You want him to become your president because you think your prison cell is going to be in the Oval Office? You're not going to be bunkmates.
Oh Lord!
Fun fact, and maybe I'm wrong, but I think it's pretty easy not to commit a crime.
Trying to be funny? Yeah, I don't even.
It's not really me trying to be funny. There's nothing funny about you voting for somebody.
You're funny because you don't know.
Quiet time, Pookie. Nothing funny about you voting for a guy who's trying to strip away the rights of women. Do I look like I'm laughing? So here's my point. You are a felon.
Laughing. You're trying to be
ready.
Gay.
Quiet time, Pookie. You're in timeout. The same way you were in prison, I want to just put you back. Enjoy the quiet space. Ready? Oh, poof! You're quiet again. This is fun. Oh my gosh, it's like we're playing cops and robbers. I love it. So listen very closely. Here's my issue. You just said, oh, you ran away. What happened? Aww. Let's get some cow emojis in the chat. We got a runner. Moo. That's insane. Do we understand that he said he was a felon? And so he was like, I'm voting for the felon because I am a felon. Okay, that's not a flex. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think it's pretty easy not to commit a crime. I could be wrong, but I think it's pretty easy not to commit a crime. I don't know. I might be wrong. I don't think I'm wrong. Chat, am I wrong? Like, is it easy not to commit a crime? Like, I feel like it's easy not to commit a crime. I feel like I'm right. You guys tell me, am I right or wrong? Do you guys often commit crimes? I guess. Are you voting for the criminal?
I'm voting for Trump.
Also, that drop was in honor of Jennifer. Thank you so much, Jennifer. W. Jennifer's for dropping the 20 to get him out of here. So, Omar, why are you voting for a criminal?
Because it can be a criminal, and that is business with the law, not with me, with you.
I like your accent. Where's it from?
I'm from Nicaragua, Central America.
Nice, gorgeous accent. So why are you voting for the criminal again?
Because that between him and the law, it got nothing to do with me, and you're not gonna try to make me guilty about that, okay?
Okay, it is a beautiful accent, but I do have no idea what you're saying.
Okay, well, try. Because
I really can't. Can we,
I've been watching your show, and I've been wanting to connect.
I'm trying to help you. I just want to make sure Donald Trump doesn't deport you. So why are you voting for Donald Trump?
I'm not afraid of that. That's a big game, okay?
Not a big. So why are you voting for Donald Trump?
Because I think he's better than the other lady. That's the only reason.
He's better than Kamala. That's what you're saying? And why so?
Yes, she's from Oakland. I live about 1 hour from Oakland. I've been in Oakland many times. And that town is totally garbage.
Okay,
town.
so you don't like her hometown, so you're not going to vote for her.
No,
wow,
no.
Nothing weird about that.
Listen,
okay, Donald Trump, ready? Hold on. Donald Trump is from Queens. Hold on, take a step back. If you think Oakland is cray-cray, wait until you go to Queens and see Donald Trump's hometown. Those people, now they're pretty cool. But they're cray-cray. You want to talk about people who are a little kooky? There's some kooky people for in Queens.
The whole state of California is fucked up, okay? The whole state. I've been here 50 years. Okay, I have 9 kids and 23 grandkids. You know, I worry about them. I don't worry about me. I'm done. I'm 70 years old. How old are you?
I'm 82, but I have the same plastic surgery. Well, no, to be clear,
okay,
I am. I am 82. To be clear, I am 82. However, that is because I have the same plastic surgeon as Laura Loomer. And
you're playing game, and I don't like that about you.
It's not really a game.
You gotta be serious.
A game would be fun. There's nothing fun about you voting for a criminal who's trying to strip away the rights of women.
You make fun of people. You make fun of the people. You don't respect anybody. And I hope you respect me. Okay.
Oh, do you know what you should respect? Do you know what you should respect? When you want respect, you respect other people. But you're voting for the guy who's stripping away the rights of women, and that ain't respecting women. You're voting for the guy who mocks LGBTQ+. I'm speaking. So you're not. So when you vote for the guy who's stripping away the rights and freedoms of LGBTQ+ Americans, don't say you want respect. Quiet time for you. You're in timeout until I tell you come out. Okay? Again, I'm helping you. I'm educating you. You're welcome. You said you want respect. Then vote for women. Respect women. Protect their right to choose. Otherwise, don't expect women to respect you. Respect LGBTQ+ Americans by fighting for their marriage equality, or don't expect them to respect you. This goes across the board. You want to vote against their rights? Don't expect them to respect you. Unmute. You know how to do it. Come on. You got this. Come on, you have an invite to unmute whenever you're ready. It's a big thing on your screen. It says, would you like to unmute? You just hit, yes, I would. Again, so it's the big notification on your phone. It says, would you like to unmute, Omar? You just click, yes, I would. I think I scared him. Oops. Oopsie poopsies. Do you want to hurry up and unmute? Like, I really don't have all night.
Okay, now
You did it! Yay, Omar! Let's get some gay Omars in the chat. He did it! It only took 7 minutes!
How old are you? How old are you?
I said I'm 82. If you don't want to believe it, that's fine. You want me to make fine? You want me to make up an age? You don't want to believe my real age? I can make one up.
You look like 21. Okay.
Please, I wish. That was so long ago. I haven't been 21 since 1952.
Okay. How many kids do you have?
32.
No,
well, it depends.
It depends. It depends.
It really depends. When do you consider a kid a kid? Because if it's like before 24 weeks and you're saying that's a kid, so realistically my number is 64. However, I kind of, you know,
be serious, okay?
Fetus deletist.
The lady you choosing have fucked up. The whole state of California is fucked up because of her.
Profanity.
Yes, yes.
My goodness.
Because you don't respect me. You know, you should respect me. You say my acting beautiful.
I don't respect you.
Well,
I thought I made that clear. I don't respect people who are voting against my right to marry. Neither do women respect people who are voting against their right to choose. Neither do union workers respect people who are attempting to overturn their right to organize. We don't respect you. You don't deserve it.
Okay, if you hate Trump, go take it up to him. Because I hear a lot of people hating him.
Go take it up to him.
Go take it on him. Why you take it on me?
I take it up to him. You came here.
Yeah.
You came to me. You requested to join my live.
Yeah, this is your.
You stuttering now? Okay, you came to me. So why are you voting for the felon?
Because he's gonna do better than the lady. Simple.
Do you want to break that down a little bit more? Because that's not a comprehensive statement.
Well, he's a businessman, and I am a businessman, so we have the same mentality about business. Okay. I'm a businessman.
So did you also have 6 bankruptcies and $488 million in debt?
No, but I have 2 of them. I have 2 of them.
2 bankruptcies?
Yeah, because I need it.
Wow, so you're both failures. Congrats.
That's what the BK is for, to help people when they're down, okay?
Oh,
you make it look like if you
so you both have bankruptcies. You know, shocking twist. If you go bankrupt once, okay, learn a lesson. If you do it more than once, like you did Donald Trump, maybe it's time to choose a different profession. May I recommend working at Staples?
I have a business and Kamala fucked it up. That's why I failed.
Makes zero sense.
To you, because you never have a business.
You just like to blame everybody else for your businesses.
You never have a fucking business.
Yes, I have.
You are making money out of Trump and out of the lady. You are making a lot of fucking money. Okay?
This isn't coherent. This makes zero sense. And to be clear, all my money comes from George Soros, my daddy. I'm trying to better understand something here. I'm trying to better understand something here. You're not breaking down why you're voting for the felon. If you can't do such a thing, then that's on you. But the same way, think about it this way. The same way you keep referring to the vice president of the United States as that lady, you have zero respect for anybody, and then you run around demanding respect. You deserve no respect. No. So here's what we're going to do. I put you back on mute. It'll probably take you 20 minutes how to figure out how to unmute. So in this time, let's take a moment and recognize that you are calling Kamala Harris, the sitting vice president, that lady. So you have zero respect for the vice president of the United States, but you think you deserve respect? You're out of your mind. You're out of your league. Hurry up and unmute. Probably don't know you're on mute.
Dumb.
Can we get some baby bottles in the chat, please?
You gotta respect all the people you have.
You have an echo. Fix it. You have an echo.
You have to respect me.
You still have an echo. Fix it. Scroll out of the app and scroll back in. Out of the app and back in. Scroll out of the app. You still have an echo.
Anyway,
you could keep unmuting. You still have an echo. Scroll out of the app and scroll back in. Do 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 do. What happened to my music?
Why are you afraid?
Scroll out of the app and scroll back in. You have an echo. What am I doing? There's no way he's going to be able to be technologically literate enough to figure out how to scroll out and scroll back in. Let me get up our next guest. Oh, this guy was a recent guest. Let's get up our next one. If you are voting for Donald Trump, join the guest request and let's have a conversation about it. If you're voting for Kamala Harris, please do hit that like button, hit the share button. Help us get to, oh my gosh, how many likes are we at? Oh my, y'all are too quick. Help us get to 500,000 likes, you crazy gooses. You're too fast. Knock it off or the Republicans are going to start saying we're ballot stuffing again. Oh my gosh, y'all are too fast. Hello, guest. Are you voting for the criminal?
Absolutely not. But can I say something to that guy in Spanish?
Yeah. Well, wait.
Please allow me. Hey, thank you.
It depends.
Thank you. We love you. I love you.
You know what the guidelines are, right? For like TikTok stance?
Yeah, I do, honey. I do.
You're good. Go for it.
Omar, yo sé que me estás escuchando. ¿Cómo es posible que tú votes por un criminal, un violador que ha violado a mujeres, una persona que no tiene dignidad, una persona que no tiene respeto a nadie, una persona que ha quitado los derechos de la mujer? Él es un asco y todo lo que usted dice que está culpando a Kamala Harris está muy equivocado y debería de veras pensarlo muy bien porque usted está en una liga, en un lado muy equivocado que hace mucho daño a los demás. Y usted es latino, usted debería, estoy segura que usted ha escuchado el dicho, el latino es el peor enemigo del latino. Es increíble porque se cree blanco y usted es latino. Thank you, hon. Appreciate it.
It's such a beautiful language. Honestly, you could have sat there and called me an idiot and I wouldn't know. It sounded so nice.
Hey, caro mio, yo parlo el italiano.
Thank you so much for coming up. Have a good one, okay?
You bet. Bye-bye.
All right, let's get up our next guest, folks. Spanish is such a beautiful, beautiful language. Oh. Hello, guest. Are you voting for the criminal?
I'm voting for Donald Trump, yeah.
Okay, so next time somebody says they're voting for the criminal, and obviously that's referring to Donald Trump, and you know that, save us both some time by just saying, yeah. So why are you voting for the felon?
Well, let's see. Vote for Donald Trump to get everything back to normal. Fruitcake.
Back to normal?
Yes. You're just fucking...
Were things normal during the pandemic when loss of lives were at an all-time high, when people were out of business, when small businesses were fractured, when employees were unemployed and without jobs, struggling to put food on the table, and many quite literally starving? You're already off to a strong start with your slurs and your blatant cries for humanity. I mean, you're out of touch. Like, you're emotional. You're irrelevant. So here's what I'm going to ask you to do. Tell me, why are you voting for the criminal? Try to explain further on this statement.
Because he's the strongest one. That's why.
Makes zero sense. Try again, but this time be coherent. I'm sure you could figure it out.
I'm pretty sure you could figure it out, too.
Okay, can you do something coherent here? Maybe make something of substance. Like,
can you go suck a dick?
Okay. I don't know why you want to watch me do that, but you could drop a 20 in my Cash App and we could talk. You're nasty. You're filthy.
Bag.
Let's get real. What is with the hate criming? Look at this loser. Look at this guy. Blatant loser. Good riddance. Take out the trash. Goodbye. Reparations. Like now. I ain't even playing. I'm gonna end this live. I'm done. I've been on live for like 6 hours today. We've had a long day. I do not need to sit here and get hate crimed by people who are closeted. Are we out of our minds? I mean, listen, it was in his voice. We all heard it. Like, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? The closet's class. Venmo, PayPal, Cash App in my bio. Reparations for this nonsense. I'm not getting hate crimed for free. This is some, no, we ain't doing it. We ain't doing it. And folks, if y'all got a crush on me, listen, like that last guy, sir, if you have a crush on me, just say it. You can ask me out, you know? You don't got to sit here saying you want to watch me do dirty things. It's weird. It's not normal, right? Especially when you're an elderly man. It's just not normal, right? Like, you know, try to tone it back a little bit. It's not normal. I don't know who taught you it is normal, but figure it out. Hello, guest. Are you voting for the criminal?
Yes, I'm absolutely voting for Donald Trump.
That's disgusting.
Yes, sir.
Well, as long as you know.
Well, I mean, you feel how you want. I'm more
It's
curious.
not really how I feel. It's how the country feels, right?
Women's rights, honestly. I'm just curious about that. How is this man getting rid of women's rights? I'm very curious.
Really? You tell me.
No, you tell me, because you're the one.
No, go ahead. Do it.
No, I'm actually curious.
I got to imagine you have an inkling of intelligence to your name. Do you have an inkling of intelligence to your name?
Well, listening to your
that
lie,
wasn't rhetorical.
I would ask you that actual question.
That wasn't rhetorical. It was a yes or no.
You're going against women's rights, but you can't produce.
Do you want to cry more?
Response to that.
I want you to explain it because you're not this oblivious.
I don't understand.
You tell me.
I'm just curious.
How did Donald Trump?
It's a real question. You're really
right,
saying it.
and I'm trying to respond as you're crying. Do you need a tissue?
No, please.
Do you want me to grab a tissue for you?
I'll give you time.
Okay. So again, ready?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so listen very closely, Mr. Emotional. The gaslighting is beyond wild. Take a step back and recognize that you know exactly how Donald Trump violated and stripped away the rights of women, which is why I'm not going to entertain you, because you're just going to turn around and say, that's not the rights of women. You tell me. Pay very close attention, because everybody in the chat knows.
Dude, my man has got a tax policy.
Quiet time, Pookie. Everybody in the chat knows how he violated and stripped away the rights of women, too. But I'm not going to entertain you acting as though you don't know how that happened or what took place. 2022. So you tell me, how did Donald Trump violate the rights of women? Unmute and you tell me. Because it seems you're out of touch if you don't know this, which shows how blatantly ignorant you are. What is the response?
I'm just asking.
And I'm asking you.
I'm not
so I'm telling you, this isn't a fight. Let me be very clear. This ain't a fight. If this was a fight, you would be well aware. 2, you're going to tell me how Donald Trump violated the rights of women. Everybody else knows, but it seems you missed something. Were you under a rock? Respond.
No, I'm asking you.
So how did Donald Trump violate the rights of women? Go ahead.
I'm asking you.
Respond.
I mean, you're saying, I'm just asking.
I'm not asking. I'm telling you to respond. I'm not asking you. I am not asking you. I'm telling you to respond.
See, this is ridiculous. This is crazy.
So let's understand something. Listen very closely. Because you're going to pretend as though you don't know, I'm not going to entertain that. You know very well that Donald Trump overturned Roe v. Wade, that being the law of the land for 50 years. You stripped away the rights of women, and not only are you forcing women to lose their right to choose, to uphold the rights of yourself as you selfishly stomp on them and their freedoms, you're not even replacing Roe v. Wade with some sort of policy that would economically benefit them financially after you force them to carry a fetus to term for 9 months. Your party has no exceptions either. Grape incest life for the mother.
My guy has ran on a policy.
Quiet time. Grape incest life for the mother, and you're saying no exceptions. That's your party. Look no further than Texas, where Kate Cox couldn't get an abortion for her non-viable pregnancy, which was never going to become a baby. Your party said no freedom for Kate. You forced her out of the state. Because I'm speaking. Then Amber Thurman, who is no longer here to tell her story because your party refused to give her an abortion.
That's crazy.
You have a processing issue, and that's on you. So let's recognize your party stripped away the rights of women.
I don't get it.
Your party won't support a woman after she gives birth that you forced her to give. And yet, instead of mandating a man's body, you continue to try to justify why you should mandate a woman's body and strip away her rights and freedoms. And then you gaslight women like you are now by saying Donald Trump never stripped away any rights of women. I don't know what you're talking about. How dare you try to gaslight women? You're trying to gaslight every woman in this channel by telling them that Donald Trump didn't blatantly strip away their right to choose, which was the law of the land for 50 years, where daughters today have less rights than their mothers had growing up. How dare you try to gaslight women after you strip away their right to choose? So here's what we're going to do now, okay? First off, I see the aggressive unmuting. You're very emotional, and that's fine. You should be emotional. I'd be emotional too if my candidate was about to lose the presidency. But that's your candidate. So let's recognize this live stream, this TikTok channel, my analytics. It says that you've been waiting to talk to me for well over 30 minutes. So the same way you wasted the time of women by overturning their right to choose after decades of fighting for the right to choose, I'm going to waste your half an hour. 30 minutes of your life you're never going to get back. I'm going to kick you out. Goodbye. That's 30 minutes of your life you're never getting back, and I'm more than glad to take that from you. It's not a lot, but it's 30 minutes of your life that belong to me now. Hope you're happy. Hi, guest. Are you voting for Donald Trump? Okay. Goodbye. Let's get up our next guest. Brianna, thank you so much for the $5. Where did I get my shirt? So this is from OG of the HRC. She is an incredible designer. Very, very talented. I also want to say a massive thank you to Kylie. Not this Kylie. Kylie, are you a Republican? Are you voting for Donald Trump?
Yes.
Okay, so then I'll get to you in just 1 second. Not this Kylie. This Kylie sucks. But Kylie L from Venmo, thank you so much for the $10. And Elisa, thank you for the 25. And Heidi, oh my gosh, y'all are too nice. Okay, thank you, Elisa. Heidi, thank you. Can we get like 100 W's in the chat for Heidi? Heidi, thank you so much for the $50. That's so nice. Thank you, Heidi. Thank you, Kylie, everybody. All right, so this Kylie, back to this one. Hi.
Hi. I honestly didn't mean to request. I was seeing if it would work
good.
because I have less than 1,000 followers, and then it let me request, and I didn't unrequest.
You're good.
But
You have
I
a good
am voting for Trump as a woman.
Okay. Did you want a cookie or sticker or something? I don't have anything to give you.
Well, I can talk if you
have a Sharpie.
I do need that for class. That'd be great.
Ma'am, if you're voting for Donald Trump as a woman and you're in class, maybe drop out of school now, okay?
Oh, I'm about to graduate.
You are? What'd you study? Congratulations. That's so exciting.
Business hospitality. Yeah.
That's an
I want to
important
open
one.
up my own medical spa.
Good for you. That's an important one, especially because once you launch that business, Donald Trump will come right in and slap it out of your hands by destroying the economy. So you have something to look forward to. Your first bankruptcy. Let's understand that Kamala Harris has a policy to support first-time business entrepreneurs with a $50,000 down payment. Right now it's $5,000. She wants to make it $50,000. Right off the bat, she would be the candidate you should be advocating for.
Well, back when I was in high school and Donald Trump was president, I feel like my dad's a business owner. I just feel like everything was so much cheaper, like way cheaper. Like gas was $1.30, and now it costs me
Man,
like
gas wasn't $1.30 under Donald
It was
Trump.
in South Carolina.
Well,
Yes, it
ma'am,
was.
gas was $1.30 back when Obama was president, and you ought to thank Obama for that. Okay?
Well, it's everything. Inflation is just extremely high, and also all the illegals
What
coming
is inflation
in.
right now? What is the inflation rate today? You could just say you don't know. I already know you don't know.
Yeah, I don't know the exact.
I know you don't know, and that's okay. However, let's recognize it's 2.4%, which is identical to what it was in 2018. So when you say inflation is high, recognize you just lied, because inflation today is the same exact thing it was when Donald Trump was president in 2018 before the pandemic hit. I'm not going to blame Donald Trump for the 9% inflation rate. That's not his fault, because that was the pandemic.
Yes.
So pre-pandemic, we're back to what it was.
Well,
Do you know what Donald Trump's border policy is?
Yes, I do.
What is it?
His border policy, well, he was building a wall. People are crossing our borders right now under the Biden and Kamala administration, and they have to come in legally under Trump. They have to come in legally.
Do you know what's wild? And what's
Yes.
so wildly disrespectful is that you said the Biden Kamala administration. You purposefully said her first name so you could pronounce it wrong instead of just saying the Biden Harris administration. Notice how you didn't say the Joe and Kamala administration. You said the Biden and Kamala administration just so you could purposefully pronounce her name wrong. Is that not insane? Like, that is beyond disrespectful. So let's get back into this then. Donald Trump wants to build the wall. Do you want to do that?
Yes.
Okay. Do you want to fund the 2,000 border agents required to monitor it?
Yes. That would be great. Keep our country strong and safe.
Okay. And you want to pay for those salaries? Okay. Do you want to cap
Keep our
immigration?
country safe.
Donald Trump says he's going to limit immigration, that if you have a water bottle and you fill it to the top, then you got to put a limit on it before it overflows. Do you want to do that?
That sounds good too.
Do you want to block illegal asylum seekers? To be clear, I said ILL, not LE. These people are not welcome. They are illegal. Do you want to block illegal asylum seekers?
I'm not really sure about that one.
That's weird. This is the only one that I think I actually understand. You don't want to block illegal immigrants.
There already are a bunch of illegal immigrants.
Right. So would you not want to block more from coming in?
Yeah, of course.
So do you want to block illegal asylum seekers? What's going on here?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, me either. Do you want to block illegal immigrants from seeking asylum? Do you want illegal immigrants here? Yes or no?
No, I would like for them to come in legally into our country the right way.
So now, last point. Do you want to give millions of dollars to border states? Donald Trump says it's states' rights. Do you want to give millions to border states to secure the border how they see fit? You want to do that?
I'm sorry, it was breaking up.
We don't got a buffer every time here. Do you want to give money to border states?
Border states?
Correct. Greg Abbott says he wants more money. Donald Trump said, I'll give you millions of dollars to secure the border how you see fit. You want to do that?
Yes, that would be great.
Okay, great. Can we talk about Kamala's policy now?
What?
So to confirm, you support the block on illegal immigrants, the block on illegal asylum seekers, the cap on immigration, the 2,000 border agents to monitor the wall. You support building the wall, the construction on it, and you also support states receiving border funding. Can we now talk about Kamala's policy? I ain't just want to talk about Trump's. I want to talk about Kamala's. Are you ready?
I appreciate you letting me talk about it.
Sure. So, are you ready?
Yes.
That was Kamala's policy. You just endorsed Kamala Harris on the border through and through. You didn't even negate one single step. So do me a favor. Say, my name's Kylie, and I just endorsed Kamala Harris on the border. You could even do it like Miley Cyrus did on Disney Channel, where she's like, my name's Miley, and you're watching Hannah Montana. And then she draws the Mickey Mouse thing with the wand as the Disney Channel theme song plays. Like, you all know what I'm talking about. Here you go. You want to do that? Here's the wand. Go ahead. Say, my name's Kylie, and I just endorsed Kamala on the border.
I think that you've got it backwards.
No, because that's on our website. And Donald Trump does not even support building the wall anymore. He's made that very clear.
She doesn't even have any policies on her website.
She clearly does have policy if that is the policy. So again, here's the wand. Do the thing. Go ahead. Don't be a hypocrite now.
How do you know I'm not doing it?
Because you're not saying it.
Oh.
You going to be a hypocrite, or are you going to own up to what you just did?
I think...
So let's get this right. You were in never any scenario going to ever consider anybody but Donald Trump, because when I said that was Donald Trump's policy, you said, great, I endorse it. Then I said, haha, tricked you. That was actually Kamala's policy, and now you no longer support it. That's insane.
No,
that's called being a sheep.
She's letting illegal immigrants
take a step back.
Into
there
our
are less
country.
border crossings today than there were under Donald Trump,
That's
and my
not
statement
true.
stands.
That's
That
not
is true. That is true. And
where
my
are you
statement
getting this
stands.
from?
Take a step back. Border security. 2, my statement stands. What I just said about you being a hypocrite is true in the realist form. You quite literally just endorsed Kamala's border policy because you thought it was Donald Trump's. When I told you it was Kamala's, you no longer supported it.
I don't think that
called
was
blatantly
Kamala's.
being a sheep. That is Kamala's.
Listen.
Excuse me. You don't get to say you don't think that's Kamala's. That is Kamala's. This isn't even debatable.
If I had a phone like you to look up...
Go. You have a phone right here. You're talking to me on. Go scroll out and figure it out. Go on.
Well...
Go. You have 60 seconds. Do whatever research you need to do. Go.
No, I don't feel like it.
Okay, right.
Listen,
it's not a matter of you feeling or not feeling like it. You're a hypocrite. Congratulations.
Okay, well,
that's absurd.
Tomorrow, I am
Take a
going
step
to
back.
vote for Donald Trump as a 21-year-old
Right, 'cause you're a
female,
hypocrite.
and I'm going to get some McDonald's to celebrate.
Okay. Take a step back and recognize you're a walking, talking hypocrite who stands on nothing but ignorance. Let me be the first to break it to you as a fellow Gen Zer. That was the most pathetic argument I've ever heard what you just said. You quite literally endorsed Kamala Harris on the border, and then when I told you it was Kamala and not Donald Trump, you said you no longer support it. So you stand on nothing but whatever mommy and daddy told you to vote for, and that is pathetic. You are voting against your own interests as somebody who aspires to be a businesswoman by voting against the $50,000 down payment for small business entrepreneurs that Kamala Harris is running on, and voting for Donald Trump, who steamrolled small businesses with his tariffs to begin with. And I should know this because I was one of those small business operators who relied on produce that Donald Trump slapped down with his 15 to 25% tariff on agriculture. But you are voting against your own interests, and not only are you doing so, you are doing so proudly. You're voting against your own rights as a woman. You're voting your rights away, both when it comes to reproductive freedom, but also your rights as a business entrepreneur. You said that you were about to graduate with a degree in business administration, and my suggestion to you would be to throw it back and return it with an envelope, hopefully to get your money or maybe a tax rebate on it, because what you're going to want after Donald Trump becomes president is a red cloak and a white hood, you handmaid. That, what you just did, what you said, what you're voting against, the hypocrisy, it's appalling. Hopefully that was enough for you, though. You have a good one. Bye-bye. Ugh. Listen, when a Gen Zer comes up here, they ain't gonna look they're not gonna make my generation look like a fool. Ain't gonna work. Gen Z's voting with Kamala. Gen Z is voting with Kamala. We ain't playing this. It's giving self-hatred. Like, it's really giving self-hatred, you know? Anyway, folks, I think we're done here. What do you guys think? Let's get some Kamala supporters up here. Let's talk. I want to talk. I want to hear from some Kamala supporters. I want to say a massive thank you to Angela, Desiree, and Adrian. Adrian, thank you so much for the love on Cash App, as well as Desiree. And Angela, thank you so much. Angela really is one of my most favorite names. I mean, I've never met an Angela I've ever disliked. Like, love Angelas. Let's try to get some Kamala supporters up here. I want to talk to some of y'all. I want to hear from you. If you're voting for Kamala Harris, request to join the live stream and let's have a chat. I want to spend some time talking to y'all. I want to hear from you. Hi, Kylie. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. We're live. We're well. It's a beautiful day. Well, night. It's middle of the night now. I'm sorry. I've been at my computer for a while. The sun went down a long time ago. So are you voting for Kamala Harris?
Absolutely. I'm the scientist from Wisconsin, and I live in Madison. So it's so awesome to see all the Harris signs around town. It's so awesome.
Well, tell us more. So why are you voting for Kamala?
I just want to stand up for women's rights. I came from Green Bay, which is way more conservative. And then I came to, yeah.
Green Bay, gotcha.
Yep. It's more up north, obviously. And then I came down to Madison and got my degree in biology, and I've been living here since, and I don't think I'll ever leave.
Oh, that's awesome. I love Wisconsin. I really want to get up there at some point. I'm from Pennsylvania. And similar to you, I grew up in a more rural conservative area. Well, the Poconos. I'm like up north. Not really the Poconos, more so like, up center north, but,
right.
Closer to New York and upstate. And I get it. I feel you.
Right. Yeah, It's really beautiful in the fall right now. All the colors are changing and the weather's
so nice.
Beautiful. Yeah.
So nice.
Very good for my mental health.
Thank you so much, Kylie, for chatting. I appreciate you taking the time.
Have a good night.
You have a good one.
Bye.
All right, folks, if you are voting for Kamala Harris, request to join the live. Let's have a conversation. I want to talk to some pardon the cough. I want to talk to some Kamala supporters. Come say hi.
Hi.
Hello. How you doing?
I'm doing great.
You voting for Kamala?
I already voted for Kamala.
Did you? That's
yes,
awesome.
I did. And I took my son that was a first-time voter as well.
You're a good mom. You're a good mom. That's awesome. What was it like? What was the process like?
It was pretty easy, actually. Mm-hmm. It wasn't difficult at all. But we did have about a 2-hour wait. And in some places in San Antonio, about a 3-hour wait out in the heat. So,
yeah.
But the lines were long. There was a lot of support there. My issue now, well, I've had it since all of it started, was that I do have a lot of family members that are MAGA Trump supporters.
Yep, I hear that.
We went to a comedy show and they were poking fun at Trump, and my sister just did not like it. Like, I went with her, she's still my sister. We don't see eye to eye on that, but her family's in the oil field, and they're afraid how it's going to affect them. And even though my family, we have a family member as well in the oil field, my whole problem with it is that I think more about my kids and how I want my kids' kids to grow up the way that I did. And my niece's rights and the women's rights in my family, my mom's Social Security, my mom's Medicare, and that's what I'm thinking about.
Well, I think that a lot of folks don't recognize, especially with Social Security, and I need to read more into the details of Donald Trump's plan. From what I understand at the get-go of this, even Fox News is attacking him for this. His plan surrounding Social Security is going to cut benefits by 33%, and then sunset the entire plan by year 6. So it's like, you have 6 years. Basically, he's saying, everybody, you have 6 years of Social Security left, and you lose 33% of the benefits during those 6 years. I'm like, that is not, even Fox News attacked him for this. It's like, what kind of plan is that?
And people rely on that.
Right.
You know, it's something that we've all put money into, and for somebody to take it away, it's not right.
Mary, thank you so much, Mary, for your support. I just received your message on PayPal. Thank you, Mary. And it's really insane. Listen, again, like, you paid into Social Security. That is, like, people call it like an entitlement, or like that's your benefit or whatever. Like, no, that is yours. That is yours. I don't like how they play with, like, how Donald Trump's playing, like, yeah, let's cut it and let's sunset, and like, that's not what? Like, this is your money.
Yeah, that's money that people have put in there and rely on it. At some point, I'm going to get it. And I'm already in my mid-50s. So it's something that I'm going to rely on in order to just live, like pay my bills. It's something that we're going to need. And I don't want to rely on my kids. I don't want to put it on them to help me when I'm at that age. Right. And and I want, when I have grandchildren, for them to have the same rights that I did growing up. God forbid something bad were to happen, I want my granddaughters to have the right to make their own decisions on their own bodies. Right. And this man, I don't understand how he has daughters and doesn't think about the future, and they're young.
Well, I don't think he likes Tiffany. I mean, I'm pretty sure he looks at Tiffany and he's like, that. Maybe I didn't disagree with abortion. Listen, Donald Trump's not a fan of Tiffany, let's be real. I mean, he is a little too into Ivanka. And that's a different conversation. But the fact of the matter is, when the rights of women are on the line, when you have mothers who grew up with more rights than their daughters have today, I think it's just like, I don't know why this should sound an alarm for more people than it apparently has. Like, you have young Americans who woke up, but there are just some Republicans who looked at it and just didn't think twice. And I don't know, it's deeply upsetting to see folks so willing to watch their rights be stripped away. It's just beyond me. I mean, and I don't know, I have the same opinion when I look at LGBTQ plus conservatives, when there's like I'm a Trumper, but I identify with the LGBTQ plus community. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing?
And I do have some of that in my family as well. And I don't understand it. They don't understand how insulting what comes out of this man's mouth says. I mean, he has he doesn't consider anyone else but himself.
Yeah.
I don't understand it. And we have women in our family that have had those medical issues where they've come at us and they've said, the baby has 30% chance of living. There's a good chance that you might not make it. And we've had to make those decisions.
Right.
And it's difficult. It's a sad decision to make.
I want to bring up some more guests too. I want to thank you for coming up and taking the time to talk about this. And also thank you again for taking your son to vote. I think that that's a memory that, I remember my first time voting with my mom. And in fact, the first time we voted, she voted for me because I had ran for office. And so I think that's just like a memory that I know I'll always remember. So I know your son will always remember that too. So thank you for taking your son to vote, especially for anybody listening in too. If you have kids and the first time voters, go with them. They will forever remember that moment. That will be one of the greatest moments of their life. It may not look like but it means a lot.
He was intimidated a little bit, but he did it. It was great. Thank you so much for having me on. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you coming on.
Bye-bye.
Alrighty, folks, let's get up our next guest. If you are voting for Kamala Harris, feel free to jump on into the guest request and let's have a chat about it. I want to hear from you. I know that it says if you're a Trump supporter, ignore that. Nicole and Tommy. Tommy, thank you so much for the love, and Nicole as well. I appreciate it. Thank you, folks, so much for the love. I'm grateful for it on Cash App. Thank you so much. Let's get up our next guest. Again, if you're voting for Kamala, feel free to jump on into the guest requests. I want to talk to you. Hello. Oh, your name looks gorgeous. How do I pronounce it? Sierra?
Oh, it's Sierra, yes.
Sierra. Gorgeous name. Oh my gosh.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
So are you voting for Kamala?
I am indeed. I actually already voted.
Did you? Hey, I'm loving that all of y'all already voted. What was the process like?
I live in Missouri. It was about an hour wait for myself, and then my sister and mom went the day after me, and I think it was about an hour wait as well. Yeah, it was great. It was a great experience.
Some W's for Sierra in the chat, please. Is it, correct me if I'm wrong, is it Kuntz? Kuntz is running for your Senate seat?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah, that's cool. Are y'all feeling good over there? I know that's a really tough race, but y'all did have Claire McCaskill, so I feel hopeful.
Hopefully. I mean, fingers crossed, but I don't know, like, everything about this state just screams red, you know?
No, I get it. So why'd you vote for Kamala?
I mean, LGBT rights. I think that she supports that. Abortion rights, obviously. Social Security. I have older parents that are in their 60s. So, I mean, that's kind of nice for them. And I want them to be protected, really.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. Well, thank you for putting your family first as well. You know, speaking of LGBTQ plus rights, that anytime I think of Kamala, like you guys know in the chat too, like you folks know when you think of somebody and you always think of them in the same exact outfit. Like when I think of Obama, I think of him in the tan suit. When I think of Kamala, like, you know, that rainbow jacket she had that was like bedazzled. Oh wait, I think it's on here. There. That it's literally on here. This is her pride outfit. I don't know. Anytime I think of Kamala, I'm like, this is the fit she's in my mind. That outfit. Yep. Anyhow.
I also wanted to ask, where did you get your shirt from?
Oh, so this came from her name is OG of the HRC. So like OG of the HRC, like Hillary Rodham Clinton Human Rights Campaign. And she designs like 90s themed shirts. And I'll tell you what, it's like, I'm like, I swear, not sponsored. She makes like great 90s themed shirts, and I like merch. Like I like Kamala's merch. I think it's nice, but like these are just thicker t-shirts. They're like nice washed. They're cool and cheap.
I love it.
So, but thank you so much for coming on up, Sierra. It was nice to meet you.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Alrighty, folks. If you are voting for Kamala Harris, feel free to jump on into the guest request. I'm going to try to talk to some more folks. I want to hear from you. I want to hear, especially if you voted. Johnny, tell us about you. Okay. Hi, I'm Johnny. I am a Gen Z activist and digital strategist. I started doing live streams in July after attending Donald Trump's rally in Butler County, Pennsylvania, when that tragedy unfolded. Basically, I had an issue with crowds afterwards and decided I wanted to continue meeting voters, but instead of doing it in person, which is what I typically did as I traveled the country and met voters face to face, I did some live streams. And I found this great community we have here. A lot of my work, again, though, revolves in public service. For example, a little more about my background. I'll make this quick. I am the youngest Pennsylvanian to win a Democratic nomination in the state. I almost won the Republican nomination too, because Republicans like what I have to say. I think it's because they thought I was funny. I'll be honest. I do a lot in digital strategy. For example, I created the website that tracks Donald Trump's debt as it increases with interest. I am the guy who camped outside of the Supreme Court for like 6 days for Donald Trump's immunity hearing. I was there for his Colorado ballot hearing as well, camping on the steps of the Supreme Court. The cases were wild, very comprehensive, which is why the rulings were a little beyond my understanding, but comprehensive case nonetheless, and they did well. What else about me? I originally come from Threads, that platform, but I have a wide array of experience in the social media industry, serving in administrations and campaigns from the State House to the White House. I'm on a first name basis with Kamala. She knows my name. What else? I like puppies. Hi, Nova. How you doing?
Hey, Johnny. Good. How are you?
I'm doing good. So now you tell me about yourself.
I already voted.
Did you?
Yeah, I voted at the end of September. I was kind of early, so I already voted for Kamala. It was my first time. I'm 18.
Oh, that's awesome. What was the process like? Was it okay? Was it easy? Was it like, you could be honest, if it was crappy?
It was kind of confusing just because I had never done it before. I didn't know like the sheets I had to fill out before I got there to do my absentee. So then like I got there, I had these sheets. I had no idea what to fill out. And then the ballot box, I was just so confused. But like it only took 15 minutes because I went in like September. So there was really no one there.
Oh, nice.
But that was pretty good though.
The first time always sucks. That's what I was saying. I'm like, if you could always go with a parent or something, like, because oh my gosh, like it sucks. And you know, I don't know. Plus, I mean, I don't know what it's like in your state, but you know, where I am in Pennsylvania, we have folks outside in booths and stuff, and like Trumpers are hecklers, and it's
they don't give a fuck. Luckily, I'm in Minnesota, so we're pretty blue here, but.
Oh, nice. Yeah. So why did you vote for Kamala?
Honestly, this election was like really personal for me. I've been watching it for like, I think a month now, but like something with like Donald Trump is just, especially like the whole grape thing. I experienced sexual assault, like blank for, you know, like 5 years of my life. So having someone like that in the office, like I watched the person who assaulted me play on the Minnesota Gophers football team. And that already is like hard enough for me. So I can't even like fathom how E. Jean Carroll feels like watching this man actually be the president. Like that's so sickening.
Right.
It's just so disgusting.
Yeah. My heart is for you. That breaks my heart to hear. But know that we're not going to let him become our president. We're not going to let him become our president. It's just, it's too much of a spit in the face to LGBTQ plus Americans. It's a spit in the face to women. It's a spit in the face to veterans. It's a spit in the face to, I mean, everybody who fought for decades to have any rights or freedoms in this country. Yep. I mean, even Melania doesn't want that guy to become president. Let's be so real. So
she hates him,
right? Like, listen, I'm telling you about my personal opinion. You know how she like just released that book?
Yep.
I got such a feeling that is her making some money before she dips, because
I think so. She signed that prenup again.
Yup. She's like, get the bag and then run.
She get out of there.
Yup. Anyhow, well, thank you for coming up and taking the time to chat about this. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Nice meeting you, Nova. Have a good one.
You too.
Folks, again, if you are voting for Kamala Harris, jump on into the guest requests. I want to chat with some of y'all. I want to meet you. I want to say hi. And I want to hear from you as to why you're voting for Kamala or why you did already vote for Kamala. I already voted for Kamala, too. So that's one Pennsylvania vote for Kamala. Hi, Sarah. Are you voting for Kamala?
Yes, sir, I am.
Why so?
Well, I am one that has a blood disorder. Mm-hmm. And if I became pregnant, my life could be in charge. But on top of that, I have a nephew that was 24 weeks in the state of Michigan. Mm. So we all know in the state of Michigan, at one point it was 24 weeks. So to see the impact that happened to our family with that, to make that choice was probably the hardest day of our life.
Yeah.
Thank God, grace, whatever anybody wants to believe in, that he is 23 years old and is actually voting for Kamala himself, which proud moment. But other than that, I'm in education, and right now our education is shit. And I do not want to lose.
Sure. I mean, you've seen some of the Trumpers who came up here, right?
Yeah.
I mean, clearly something's wrong with the education system if people are ending up like that.
And I work with the special education system. So if I don't have that, national federal funding, we have a lot of left behind students, and we can't have that. And, Michigan, I stand with Big Gretch. I've standed with her since, COVID.
Big Gretch. I love Big Gretch.
We'll always stand with her. She has done so much for our state. And I can only hope and pray that Kamala does as well. I mean.
Yeah. I think in part, what a lot of MAGA Republicans don't understand is that while we talk a lot about abortion, we talk a lot about the Second Amendment, or we talk a lot about LGBTQ plus rights or the economy and immigration, education is so important, and they're overlooking the fact that Donald Trump is very proudly saying he will dissolve the Department of Education, meaning no budget. That leaves it to states like Arkansas, for example, which are struggling academically to fend for themselves in a more competitive national education system against states like New York that are persevering economically, educationally. And so, when it comes down to those kids having a future or a college degree or exception, it's going to be really hard for that kid who didn't have access to a well-funded public school to get into that school against somebody from New York who did have access to more opportunities in a well-funded public school. I mean, you don't have the Department of Education. Okay, say goodbye to any extracurriculars or further academics outside of your daily 7-period courses you take. Like, you say goodbye to drama club. There goes your arts admissions to Stanford. Say goodbye to your football team. You won't have athletic budgeting anymore. Say goodbye to that scholarship for Harvard. And so this is something where I think MAGA Republicans aren't considering the issue with dissolving it. And early education, too, is a big one. I had served on a nonprofit long time ago for a early learning center. And it's just so critical that kids have access to an early start with their education. And I don't understand why MAGA Republicans oppose this. I mean, they should be striving to get better educated, and it seems like they only want to make it worse.
Yeah, and like in our county, and I live on the Lake Shore, so Muskegon County, we're doing what we can do to help, those early learning, the GRPS groups, and we open more and more, but we can only do so much for our county.
Right.
As well as we're seeing Trump signs going left and right. Our county can't handle that because we will fall. Just because we're right next to Lake Michigan, we will still fall. Our crime rate. Again, that's something that we have to deal with as a state. To bring it down in our county. But I think as Trump wanted to say, I am a proud cat owner. So for those who want to rock on my see if I troll, go right ahead. However, I have one.
I'm a proud dog owner.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up in rural, Muskegon County. I was a 4-H'er. My family has always been Republicans. I'm going to tell you, I had a cat that I worked with autistic kids. He passed away, and when that happened, like when he said that, I've never been so angry at one man so in one sentence.
Yeah.
That night. It's like, no, that they're my kids and they will always be my kids. So I thank you for allowing me to come up and say my piece. I've tried a couple times with you being live with a Kamala, but I love what you say and what you do, and your 1, 2, 3 eyes on me makes me laugh.
That's the educational background coming in.
Yeah, and it just makes me smile. Behavioral kids is what I work with, so we have to use it constantly. So it's just great. I appreciate you and everything you do.
Thank you so much for everything you do, and thank you for stepping into the educational field, because it's a very noble profession that's constantly under attack. And so there's nothing harder than serving in that industry. And so what you're doing is incredibly important. Thank you for that. And thank you for coming up and taking the time to talk. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
Alrighty, folks. I want to get up like a couple more folks if we could do that. If you are voting for Kamala Harris, jump on into the guest request and let's have a conversation about it. Let's get up Gigi. Hi, Gigi. How you doing?
Sorry.
You're good. So are you voting for Kamala?
Yep, I already voted actually. I'm a first time voter.
Nice. Oh, let's go. How was the process? Was it if it was crap, it's fine.
It was very easy, honestly. I did a mail-in vote, and my boyfriend also voted for Harris. He's also a first time voter. Very important election.
Yeah.
So my whole house voted blue. I've even convinced some of my family members to vote blue. So very.
Hey, can we get some WGGs in the chat? Like, that's awesome. Thank you, Gigi, for your work. So, tell us more about. Is it like a specific issue, overarching? Like, do you hate Donald Trump? Why are you voting for Kamala?
Yeah.
Tell us more.
My family. They tried to push Trump down my throat when I was growing up. A very conservative area I lived in. I lived in the rural area in Michigan, so a lot of Trump supporters, but I grew up thinking Trump was this great guy. He's awful, did my own research. I would never, ever support someone like him, and I implore everyone to reconsider supporting him because he's a terrible person and terrible for our country.
Yup. All right, now the important question. Do you have any cats or dogs? Because we were just talking about cats and dogs.
Yeah, I actually have 2 cats. One's name is Barbecue and another one Plum. They're very important to me.
Don't send Barbecue to Springfield, Ohio. JD Vance is going to get his hand on them. That's funny though. Gigi, it was nice meeting you. Thank you for coming up.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for not only being a first-time voter and understanding the importance of voting, but also like getting your friends and family to do it. That's phenomenal.
Of course, it's so important, and thank you so much for doing these lives. It means a lot to me, and I'm sure a lot of other people.
Hey, our generation has got this.
Oh yeah.
Hopefully. Have a good one. All right, folks. Not everybody commenting hide Barbecue. That's too funny. We love Barbecue. We stand for barbecue. But just don't bring Barbecue to Ohio. Hello, Elizabeth. Are you voting for Kamala?
You know I am. I've been
Tell us more.
I have been protesting this business for over half a century, 53 years. I can't believe I'm still protesting it. I can't believe we've gone backward. Oh, but can I back up? Mm-hmm. You're new to me, and I tuned in, and you were reading them to filth, honey, and you made my night. I'm a fan for life, for keeps.
Hey, I appreciate that. Somebody, my mom taught me very young to always choose kindness, always be respectful. But my dad taught me to read people to filth.
Absolutely.
So I get the best of both worlds.
Absolutely. Well done. And it breaks my spirit because this is going to be wildly unpopular. For a woman to be able to support Donald Trump has to be steeped in self-loathing. I understand where it comes from. I sat at a bank with my mother after I graduated from high school and applied for a HUD loan for a starter home. And that little man in that shark skin suit behind the desk looked at all my paperwork and nodded, and he said, everything looks in order. And he says, so who's going to sign for you today, baby? And I said, oh, I am. And I looked at my mother, a woman, a daughter of the Depression, who had dressed up special for this occasion, so proud to see her daughter being able to purchase her own home. And I said, well, I am. And my mother smiled, and he looked at me and he laughed, and he looked over at my mother and he said, who's going to sign for her mama? And Mom said, oh, I'm sorry, do I need to? And he said, no. Why don't you read here for me, ladies? And he put that paper on and spun it around, slid it back to the table and tapped right there. And where I had put my signature, it stated clearly, and this was the terminology, if applicant is female, signature must be under a man's.
Oh,
was
I'd be throwing
illegal.
hands. I would be throwing hands.
Oh
That's
my God! No, you didn't. My mother, and three of her friends went to protest with me, and the very next week, every husband took every one of those women to the doctor, 2 different doctors, and they all got strung out on Valium. No, you don't speak up. So you have to understand that QMAGA women, and I will not give up that Q, nor should you, will never. They're not going to give that up. If you can't get a loan on your own until November of 1977, you can't walk into a bank and obtain a loan on your own. And men don't have to pay child support when they leave a family until, 1982. And a woman cannot walk into a bank and obtain a business loan on her own in order to be financially solvent until 1988. Who's got the money?
Right. Well, and the self-loathing thing, I think, is very true in so many different aspects. It gives roaches for raid. I mean, look at LGBTQ plus Americans who say they're voting for Donald Trump. In what sense is that a good idea? I'm sorry. You're quite literally saying, "Oh, I can't wait until Donald Trump takes my right to marry." Huh? Like, what is that?
Isn't it deep? It breaks my spirit. It really does. And I know who the men are who are all about Trump. You know, these are the people, and some of these women. These are the same kids who, God bless you, fellas. Y'all didn't get laid in high school, and you're still bitter about it. And
Donald Trump is one of them.
Now, honey, didn't she say he was a mushroom? Now, so now they get to stand behind the schoolyard bully and say, "Yeah, give it to him, Donald." And then here comes Kamala, right? And they start throwing all their sexual innuendos out. You know why? Because she's hot. Because they think she's hot. Because she is hot.
She is hot.
Right, but she's way out of their league, and they know it, and it's just like in high school, and they're still bitter about it.
I'll tell you now, Obama and Kamala might be the hottest. Once she becomes president, he was the hottest president we've ever had.
Hello.
When she becomes president, I'm pretty sure he lost that title.
Oh my gosh, she's breathtaking, and she's so high spirited, and that just intimidates the hell out of these men. You're supposed to have your little girl voice and dress appropriately, but be a whore in bed, and it's like, oh yada yada, that's over. Y'all, all you men, all you QMAGA men folk listening in, it's over, baby. It don't matter, even if Trump come in. You see, it's over. So you go ahead. This is their last spin. They know it's over.
Yeah,
so,
which is exciting.
And one other thing I want to get out there, and then I'm going to shut up and go. If you ever in your life thought that your vote did not matter, we have a man's voice recorded. All I need is 11,780 votes. In the United States of America, there's 240 million eligible voters in this country. 240 million. I only need 11,780 votes. Donald Trump is telling you himself with his own words how much your vote matters. It is, I know it sounds corny. Can we please bring civics back into class? But it is a structure of the people. Yeah. Your vote is what runs this. You don't like who's in office? Shut up and vote. That's all.
We're going to win this because we ain't going back. I'm so stoked. All right. I'm going to hit you up with the follow. We're going to have to catch up after this because between your thoughts on, I think we meet in the middle on this stance of the whole roaches for raid thing. So I want to have a more deeper conversation after we win.
Yes,
talk to you
I love
later.
it.
You have a good one.
Thank you. And thank you. It's to hear again. I'm an elder. To hear a young man, it makes me emotional. Speaking up for women like you do is just so beautiful. Bless you.
You know what? Listen, it's all of our rights on the line. I think a lot of folks say, it's women's rights on the line. And yes, women's rights are on the line and we need to fight for women.
Indeed.
But women are the start because, this reminds me of a poem. First they came for, gosh, I don't even remember the poem. Beautiful poem.
That's right.
Though. But you know what I'm talking about.
And I did nothing, then they came.
Exactly. Yeah. First they'll come for women and then they'll come for me.
Yes.
And they are already trying to put marriage equality on the chopping block. We quite literally are in this together. women, LGBTQ plus Americans, middle class, working class, lower class Americans. Like, this is all of us, union workers.
Yes.
It's all of our rights on the ballot here. But we're going to win, and we're going to give women the right to choose once more. We're going to reinstate the protections of Roe v. Wade, and there's no turning back on this. There is no way but forward. We are not going back.
We're not going back, baby. It's not happening. It's not happening. It's not happening. It's not happening.
Thank you for coming up, Elizabeth.
Bless you, my love. I look
Nice
forward
meeting
to
you.
it. Take care. Same here.
Massive thank you to Danny for the $10 on Venmo. That is so nice. And Daniel, thank you so much for the $50 on Venmo. That is beyond kind. Thank you so much, Daniel. I'm going to try to get up our next guest. Hopefully I have a Dan coming up here. I saw a Dan and I wanted to get him up here. Where is Dan? Here's one Dan. Hi, Dan.
Hey there, Johnny.
Hi. Are you voting for Kamala?
I can proudly say I already have, sir.
Why? That's awesome. Okay. Y'all, I am loving so much that all of y'all have already voted. Do y'all understand that every Trump supporter who comes up here, they're always like, I plan on voting for Donald Trump on November 6th, or like they get the date wrong and stuff. Like, we are so organized. We're like, we already voted. They're like, what day is the election again? I love this. Dan, why'd you vote for Kamala?
Gosh, that could be a long conversation.
I got time.
Do we have to pick just one, really? I mean, what overwhelming obvious reason do we need to choose from?
Floor is yours.
So, I guess long story, medium short. So, grew up traditional conservative. My parents, fantastic people, but they drank the MAGA Kool-Aid just like full hook, line, and sinker. It's just what they're used to. Actually are fantastic people, just horrifically ignorant and really tough to try to reach them, you know? But one day, I think this was about maybe a year and a half ago, had a cousin who, he was, so the son of my mom's sister. They were the part of the family where they couldn't watch the Disney Channel growing up because they, quote, were sympathetic to the gays. Which I thought was a little wild at the time.
I had cousins who did the same exact thing.
Really?
That is insane. Yeah.
I didn't even know growing up that they were like all that into it.
They literally weren't. It made no sense.
It's weird. It's like they've been consistent since the 90s. So I was born, we'll call somewhere between 1990 and 1992, in that range. But so funnily enough, and again, probably don't want to weaponize someone's sexuality, but it's a little satisfying when they end up with the gay son, and then they're having to come to terms with the fact in classic, conservative fashion of, oh no, now that this is my schmishmortion or my issue, now all of a sudden I understand it and I have empathy. And I got faced with this really, really weird question. I'm curious if you've ever gotten something similar. So my mom...
Dude, I've been talking to Trump supporters for quite some time. Let me tell you, I get some weird questions, okay? One of them... Never mind. Sorry, continue.
So this is the wildest question. And I'm sure talking to Trump supporters, you've ran across some good faith ones. I'd be shocked if you haven't seen something like this, where... I know it sounds wild, but so my mom asks me one day, she calls me up, she's like, hey, I heard the wildest thing. Someone at church today told me, is it harmful to gay people if over the course of a conversation I just happen to mention that homosexuality is an abomination in God's eyes, but, love the sinner, hate the sin? And it's a legitimate question, and it was an opportunity to kind of like take a relationship with like a parent, like kind of off the NPC mode, where it's tough to like take someone seriously as a person if you're just like, okay, well, you have fundamentally unserious beliefs. But she was actually asking in good faith, and I was like, holy crap, okay. If you want to learn about the world, Mom, yeah, gotcha. And given just the kind of bad luxury that conservatives have today of being able to just make up anything if you want to be able to have productive conversation with them in a way that is gentle enough to where their minds won't just explode. You have to be like 50 times as knowledgeable on every single topic just to be able to defeat like whatever latest conspiracy theory comes across, right?
Yeah.
So, long story short, I read up on a whole bunch of stuff, and I can't believe that the Democrats didn't like publicize the fake elector scheme like 2 years ago. How is it the case that this wasn't like?
Okay, I won't say what I was working as at that time, but I was working in a field that was very prominent within that specific case. The fake elector scheme, I don't think that people realize how close, Mike Pence could have overturned the election and we were close there. That fake elector scheme was a real close second to Mike Pence having overturned that. Okay, that fake elector scheme, for those of y'all who don't know, they were straight up throwing out the Electoral College electors and trying to replace them with fake electors who were going to put Donald Trump in as the president. And they were doing this in Pennsylvania, in Arizona, in Georgia. And it almost worked, guys. Like, and the fact that we didn't talk about it that much back then is beyond me. I agree. That should have been spoken about so much more, and we just didn't.
And it's all publicly available, and there's no proof to the contrary. Like
it came really close to working. That's like,
it's like the actual events of January 6th. Like,
right?
Why? That's not even the important part. Like, they're always looking for like these grand, like, forbidden knowledge conspiracies, right? And this is the coolest conspiracy out there. Like, this is wild how close this got.
Yeah. But they'd rather talk about JFK Jr. It's like...
Exactly.
Anyhow.
I was curious if I may ask one piece of advice.
Yeah, go for it.
How do you balance when... So, like, I kind of agree with what you were saying earlier, kind of getting, say, like, advice from both parents on learning how to, A, be kind, but B, I kind of feel like kindness and compassion isn't as useful in the world if you don't have some form of strength to be able to apply it in certain situations, right? Where do you draw the line between, like, full-on compassion for most of these MAGA folks who I genuinely think aren't malicious, they're just incredibly lazy and deluded on it? When do we start treating them like actual humans with agency, where it's like, hey, I know if you don't think you're doing anything wrong here, but yeah, you're kind of messing up with my entire country. And
when they do it to us, look, I have voted for Democrats and I have voted for Republicans, and I will plan to do the same in the future as well. That is how I was raised. If you agree with somebody on all the policy and yet you understand they're an awful person, you don't vote for them because you can't trust them. If you trust somebody to have a conversation and meet in the middle, while you may disagree with them on some policies, it's still worth considering voting for them. And so this is why I have voted for both sides. And, I have some stories as well where there are Republicans who I thought I disagreed with on so many issues. But I think of one story. I had ran for office and I was very young. I was a teenager, youngest in the state to do something like this. And I just remember I was sitting outside this big event, like these donors, they do these donor events. And I was supposed to go in and mingle with these people who were far older than me. Far more educated than me at that time. And I was very nervous. I remember sitting outside. It was freezing cold winter. And I was like, I'm going to leave. I can't go in. I can't do this. And then a Republican, I won't say her name, but I will always thank her for this. A Republican comes up. She's a Republican. I'm a Democrat. She knows very well who I am. I know very well who she is. She grabs me by the hand and said, honey, it's a little cold out here. Let's get you inside. Let me introduce you to some people, and we'll make you more comfortable here. I know it's tough being a first-time candidate. So she brings me in. She introduces me to people, and I'm like, this is the bridge. Like, we may not see eye to eye on policy. I'll note she was a more moderate Republican, but we don't see eye to eye on policy, and yet we can choose kindness in that moment. And I think what sets the tone for there being so much hateful rhetoric in the society today is like, for everybody tuning in, the MAGA Republicans we spoke to today, for example, those are the worst of the worst. Those are the ones who feel so passionate about their hateful rhetoric that they felt justified to join this live stream and spew it in front of thousands of people. That is disgusting. And America is better than that. So don't feel hopeless when it comes to Republicans retaking their party. They are out there. They're more silent, but they're out there, and they'll be ready when Donald Trump goes down this November. We just got to help them out by ensuring Donald Trump doesn't become president.
Of course. How do you think it ends? I'm curious. Like,
when Donald Trump is...
Party, I feel like two outcomes. Either one, it would be horrible if Donald Trump wins, then we go full fascist and really, really bad stuff happens. Right. But if they lose, do you think that there's going to be enough like removal of just the populist brain rot where they don't just, try to reboot and redo it?
I mean this sincerely. If Donald Trump loses, he won't have any political authority whatsoever anymore. Especially after the midterms, Nikki Haley will assume the role of the new Republican Party. She will end up being their next candidate in 4 years. She will take over the entire situation. It will be her. She will be their person. If Trump wins, guys, this is why this is so important. This will never end, right? Because he will nominate 2 more Supreme Court justices. Because Clarence Thomas and Mr. Loser, whose name I won't mention, will both resign, and he will replace them. This will never end if Donald Trump becomes president, but if Donald Trump doesn't become president, it will end immediately. So we really do have a choice to make here. Do we want this to be over, or do we want this to be the rest of our lives?
We got our one mulligan with how lucky did we get that he's just so woefully incompetent at being an authoritarian. Like, imagine if he was like even a little bit smart.
Right. Well, let's ask that question again after the election, because if he loses, then we're lucky he was ignorant. If he wins, then he's ignorant, and now we're very unlucky because he's ignorant. But he's not going to win. We're doing too well, and it doesn't feel like 2016 this year. It feels like 2008. And I think that should.
I'm sorry, you got it.
Oh yeah, we're on the same page.
I've been hearing this go around a lot more, and I feel like it makes sense intuitively. Like in 2016, you had people who were like embarrassed to vote for Trump, and then he had the bump in compared to the polling. But now I feel like you have people who are just going to, hopefully, I would imagine there's going to be a lot of Republican wives who are going to stand up and actually vote in secret against their husbands, which would be really cool to see.
Yeah. Well, Dan, thank you so much for coming up. I appreciate you taking the time.
Yeah. Take care. Best of luck. Congrats.
Thank you so much. All right, folks, we're going to do a couple more folks here. Let's go. I saw it. And where are we going? Hello, Danny. How you doing?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you all right. Are you voting for Kamala?
Hey, I've already done that.
Oh, you didn't? See, guys, this is what I'm saying. All the Kamala supporters, we have already voted. Like, guys, do y'all recognize that? That all the Kamala supporters are like, we already voted. And all the Trump supporters are like, when's the election again? Phenomenal.
Yes, Lord. I could never vote for such a vile POS. And I don't hate
Prison inmate 090108.
Yeah, I don't hate Republicans, but he is way off the pale of what a Republican should be. Right. And I could vote for a Republican, but I could never vote for him. He is just so vile, and he wants to destroy the community, and he wants to destroy the U.S. It's all about him, and I can't help that his MAGA followers don't see that. Like, they're just so, gone with it.
Right.
So I'm really scared, though, is because I'm married to my husband. I love him more than anything. He is my soulmate. We've been married for 3 years. We just had our 3rd year anniversary and been together for 8 years. And the problem is that when I look at the polls, some polls show Kamala ahead by 4 or 5 points, and then they show Adam at a dead heat. So I don't know which one to believe.
Yeah.
But I know that I'm scared about it.
No,
and it's
feel
not
confident.
even because
Feel
of that,
scared. I'm a numbers guy. And I'm sorry to cut you off. I really want to explain those.
That's okay. That's okay.
I'm a numbers guy. I love numbers. I'm like ones and zeros. Programming, coding, it's all my thing. I love it. Stats, love it. I want to point out 2 parts with these polls we're seeing. Kamala was leading Donald Trump, for example, via the 538 forecast that contains the entire average as a whole by well over double digits just a month ago. there is no feasible, recognizable, reasonable way for Donald Trump to be able to close that gap. So I want to recognize that right off the bat, everybody.
Okay.
If that gap closes that quickly in that short of a time frame, something's funky. And something was funky. If you look at the polls that are being counted right now, there has been a flood of conservative funded polling. So we're talking dozens and dozens and dozens of new polls that come from Republican organizations. This would be like if the Democratic Governors Association funded polls. We're counting those polls towards the average, but that would be a Democratic funded poll. Democrats aren't funding the polls, though Republicans are. Many polls are not funded still, but we're talking dozens of Republican funded polls. And that's what closed the gap so quickly. And they're doing that because they recognize if their candidate is so far behind in the polls, voters aren't going to show up. Why would a voter show up if they expect to lose? And so they're saying, well, maybe Kamala's supporters won't show up if they expect to lose. Let's try to get ahead in the polls. Let's fund these polls and get ahead. And this isn't also unusual. There are candidates on both sides of the aisle, guys, who have done this in the past. But to be clear, that is why the polls look so tight right now. And then also I want to recognize that the polls right now should be a reflection to that of 2022. You look at Pennsylvania, for example. Realistically, Kamala should be behind in the Pennsylvania polls, but she's ahead. She should be behind, but she's ahead because these polls typically favor Republicans. We look at John Fetterman as a best example in 2022. He was supposed to lose his race by 3 points. He won by 5. That is an absurd margin of error. That is absurd. That is an absurd error. There is no justification for that besides the polling companies favoring Republicans. And they admitted to that because they gave Republicans a 5-point edge just for funsies to ensure that they didn't repeat 2016. Josh Shapiro, he was going to win his race by 5 points. He won his gubernatorial campaign by 15. So like when Kamala's polls are tight here, expect she'll do better. And you know, this is why I think I feel so confident about it. And I understand that the numbers don't always equate to reality, but I love numbers. So I trust. I trust. I know she knows what she's doing.
Well, I enjoy watching you. I watch you probably twice a day, like when I'm at work, I watch you because you kind of give me hope. And I think at the end of the day, I'll just have to wait and see how the polls go. I won't feel better until she actually wins. And it's not about her race. It's not about her sex, her sexual identity or anything like that. It's about her being the better candidate. Mm-hmm. And it really upsets me when like Trump supporters come in and they're like, well, what did Kamala do during this? Or what did Kamala do during this? It's like Kamala would have to stoop so low to be even in the realm of where Trump is right now. Like she would have to be a bottom feeder, and she's not going to do that. It's just not in her to go that low. So, but that doesn't resonate with everybody. But anyway, I appreciate you bringing me on. I want you to know that I watch you all the time. You give me lots of hope. I enjoy watching you because every time I watch you, it makes me feel better about the election. So thank you for bringing me on, and I appreciate you.
Thank you for coming up, and also know that you give me hope as well because I someday want what you have. So congratulations to you both as well on that anniversary. But thank you so much for coming up and saying hello. I appreciate you taking the time.
Yeah, take care, Ben.
Have a good one, folks. I think that we should do this more often. What do y'all think? Like after we do our live streams and we talk to MAGA Republicans and take out the trash a little bit. I think we talk to some good people like we are right now. What do you think? Should we start doing this daily? I feel like we should do this daily. Like a good, yeah. So we'll continue doing this daily going forward. We'll have conversations like a breath of fresh air. Because when you're talking to so many MAGA Republicans, it's like snorting sewer water, right? After you snort sewer water, you really ought to sniff a nice candle afterwards. So we'll keep snorting sewer water, and then we'll talk to some Democrats and cleanse our nose with a nice candle, I think. Folks, I think I apologize to everybody who's waiting in the guest request right now. I know you've been waiting some time. There are a lot of folks in there, like hundreds of folks in there. So I'm sorry that we are going to end it here. For the night, but we are going to come back and continue doing these conversations, both with Trump supporters and again with Kamala supporters at the end of every live stream going forward. So thank you for taking the time. Thank you for your support, your love. Thank you to our mods today for keeping the comment section as a safe space. I appreciate you taking the time to help us build this community out. But other than that, I hope you all have a good night. We're going to end it here. It was good seeing y'all. Hi, MT. Have a good night, MT. And Becca, I saw you as well, my beautiful friend. Love you, Becca. Hope you're having a good night. I also saw Charcity as well. Hi, Charcity. How you doing? It's always good when I see familiar faces. I love you folks. Glad that y'all are on. Either it's a good thing we're on this late or a really bad thing and we need to catch up on sleep. I need to go rewatch Kamala's rally, though, because I know that she just did. I don't know if she's still on. I got to look, but the rally with Beyonce, that looked really cool. I want to go see that performance, so I got to go watch that. Kamala's actually going to be back in Philadelphia this weekend as well. So will Obama and Bruce Springsteen. So it's going to be a big weekend in Pennsylvania. But anyhow, folks, see you later. I'm going to go watch that rally.